Guys, Chris is knocked out. He's getting mouthy. Bob's right next to me on the left of me.
That's Mr. Backlund.
I'm sorry, sir. Today on the Loki and Jabroni show, we have Bob Backlund, and we'll be right back as soon as I can get some oxygen to Chris's head. Welcome, everybody, to the Loki and Jabroni show. I'm Loki.
I'm Jabroni. Yes.
Jabroni is getting his breath back, and is right between us is the one and only Mr. Bob Backlund. Are you kidding me?
You want to run down the list? Two-time World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Hall of Fame, class of 2013. Oh, wow. Amateur champion. Champion wherever you walked into. Welcome to the Loki
I think
show.
It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Thank you.
I don't know how I got here, and I don't know how I'm going to get home, but I know I'm here.
Ed's got an Uber account. He'll take care of you.
Yeah.
We heard Uber. We heard Uber was going to be
I took
taken.
so many turns, half a mile down this way, and a half a mile, then a quarter mile, then a third of a mile.
Welcome to Oakdale.
I don't know where I am. All I know is I'm in your basement.
Yes.
This is our Valhalla Complex studio. Welcome, Mr. Bob Backlund. I'm so excited to have you in here, actually.
I hope you guys like to have fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're ready. We're ready. I can't believe that you put him out. He's going to get mouthy again. You might have to put him out again.
Think so?
You know, I can't believe I got you up that quick. You must have been really excited.
I got you. I've been watching a lot of training videos. Baron von Raschke, Jimmy Snuka, Iron Sheik. I got all the moves ready, in case.
He's faced pretty much everybody, so
that's true.
There you go. I think he's got a counter for every person.
If you're anybody in this business, this guy was in the ring with you, and chances are walked home with his hand in the air. So where do you want to start, Mike?
At the beginning.
That's what I was going to say. Exactly. Right at the beginning. In case you guys didn't notice, we have Mr. Bob Backlund's book right here. In case you all haven't been underneath a rock or something, we've been blowing this up. This Saturday, it's going to be happening from 6 until 8 p.m. right there in Norwich.
9 p.m.
Oh, you're going to go all the way to 9 now?
p.m.
Oh, he's
all night.
If he's still signing autographs, he's going to go. This guy is on fire.
I got the extra hour out of him by slapped him in the figure 4. I'm like, I don't get out of work till 8. I need that picture for my daughter. I was like, okay.
$35, guys. You get the book, you get the autograph, you get the pictures. I'm going to have our man from Connor Promotions come on right on the show here for you, and he's going to explain everything else. He's going to have all kinds of goodies there for him. But this is pretty much the story. Oh. This is the story of the legend right here. Want to give him a little?
It's all in there.
It's everything is in there.
And, it's I got done reading that book, and I said, "Was that me?" I said, "No." I couldn't believe what my life was all like when you read it, put it together in all one read.
You look at your highlights, and
I was sweating.
It's impressive. It's impressive the people that you face, the things that you've done, the venues you've been a part of.
And even if you go back to the beginning, it's almost as if, and I know you lived throughout this whole thing, but it's a movie script that he lived through. Humble beginnings. Was it on a farm, right? Was it?
Small Princeton, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Country, 3.5 miles. We had to ski to town in the winter.
And to come up and then to be under the lights as a 28-year-old in Madison Square Garden. It is the Rags to Riches story before Rags to Riches stories were fun.
Yeah. And it's life's been a pleasure. A lot of things were great, but anything that I ever did, I was the worst person on the team. I was the worst student in the school. I was the worst wrestler ever. It was always rock bottom. And you won't believe how I started in the professional wrestling business. Down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I had 4 cents left.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, sleeping in your trunk with a baseball bat.
with a baseball bat. Yeah.
I was going to say, in Louisiana, that's probably a safe bet right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 1973.
Now, you're known in the business as the man that pretty much never said no to anything. I mean, they pretty much put it in front of you, and you pretty much did it. I mean...
Pretty much, only one thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
One time, I think I'm the only one that told Vince Jr. no.
Yeah,
wow.
I think you're absolutely right, to be honest. That probably went out right his ass, too, huh?
That was in the 80s.
Yep.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's in the book.
It's in the book. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but you got to buy this book. Guys, I've read this 3 times. I might read it again. I know I'll read it again. She's laughing.
You probably will, absolutely. Let's talk about humble beginnings. Let's go Florida. Back before we even had TV and anything else going on, you actually got a cross-faced chicken wing all over Hercules Hernandez. Now, back in the day, you didn't manhandle Hercules Hernandez. So how did that work out? How did that feel for you? You know, being able to pull that. I know it was Florida. I know it was a smaller venue, but to be able to pull that off, I actually saw the video on YouTube, and it's pretty fantastic. I mean, that's a big dude.
Yeah. You know what? Size doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
You never want to judge a book by the cover. You don't want to look at somebody and say he's a weakling or this guy. You can't tell.
Right.
Until he grabs you. And when he does, then you're in trouble.
You think if they would have seen that back then, that could have pumped you up a little bit more? I mean, I know how they did the venues back then. It was a lot different than they do now. And now with obviously the power of social media and the internet, I mean, you could pretty much, there's so many things that we don't miss, you know? I mean, obviously I was able to watch that again through, obviously somebody pulling that up.
Go away.
But it never goes away. And I mean, and something like that, I mean, it's just incredible. How did they come to you with that? What did they just turn around and say, hey, look, we want to get Florida pumped up.
Yeah.
Why don't you go take Hercules and slap that chicken wing on him and just see what he does?
Do what you gotta do. Yeah. Florida was good. Eddie Graham was running it down there. That was a popping territory. And they had Georgia too. That was pretty good too.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It was fun living there. I raised heck every night, except me.
That's what we heard. We heard you're the good one. You're the good one of the group, right?
I could keep up with a guy in just about anything, even drinking beer, if I want to. But if it started affecting my workouts, it was getting second rating.
I'm glad you said that, because in this fantastic book that you guys will buy, or I will come to your house and slap you in the cross-faced chicken wing, you tell a story about Andre the Giant. And you guys want to buy each other a round of beer. Okay, Andre, you can buy me a round of beer, but what was the caveat to him if he was buying you a round of beer? Do you remember in the book?
Well, Andre the Giant, he bought me some beer, and I drank it, and I was going to buy with him. He wouldn't let me. And I said, I'm not going to drink with you if I can't buy you a beer.
I remember that. Didn't you ask him to go work out with you in the morning?
Well, yeah, that was different. I would sneak out with when I was with Andre the Giant. I wouldn't tell him I was going out someplace. I'd just go to the bathroom and leave. And he wondered where I
drink and dash.
Yeah. I know. I want to get up and get my training in first. So and then Andre sat me down and he questioned. Okay, Andre. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll stay and drink with you, but you have to get up in the morning at 6:00 and work out with me. And he said, you can go. As he took his big hand around off my head.
Oh, my Lord.
Squeezing my ears up.
I can only imagine. I met Paul White, and his hand was like the size of my head. So to actually see the original Giant and to be around the original Giant must have been a sight to behold back then. I mean, that's insane.
He was over at our house. I had a Corvette. My wife had a Volkswagen Beetle. We were going to take the Corvette, and Andre got in there. The top was open. The windshield was here, and Andre's head stuck above the windshield. And we were going to be going 110 miles an hour, and it might mess up his hair.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
So then the only option was a Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, my Lord. How do you get a big guy like that in a Beetle?
He got in the passenger side, and I couldn't get in the drive.
Oh, my Lord.
So we had to call you, or what is that? Were they those guys that pick up people?
Oh, U-Haul.
Oh, my God.
U-Haul. We took all of Giant and we threw him inside that thing. That's
he was a wonderful person. I can remember him laying in our living room floor on the carpet, and our daughter, she was maybe not even a year old yet, and she was crawling all over him. And he was so gentle. And
that's what I heard. He was a really down to earth type of guy.
Yeah, he loved kids, and he was, and he loved what he did. He was out there every day.
Well, speaking of Giants, I'm going to bring on our own gentle Giant and have him take over my spot real quick, and bring in Matt from Connor's Promotions. And if you see anything over here, Matt, make sure you say hi to the fans for me, okay?
Yep, we are live first time on 3 different platforms right now. So wherever you're watching, get your questions in because the legend is ready to answer them. Welcome, Matt from Connor Promotions. If you have not been to one of Matt's events, he is the guy that has brought you Blair the Bull Shark Tugman, Tony Atlas, Shane Douglas, and now Mr. Bob Backlund, coming this Saturday, June 3rd, to Pistol Pete's Bar and Grill, 29 Stonington Road, Norwich, Connecticut, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Saturday. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So tell us a little bit more about Connor Promotion.
It's a little something I started because my kids like wrestling, you know what I mean? I always go to, indie shows, and they have meet and greets and whatnot, and I seem to, pardon my language, pay out the ass and for meet and greets and wait in lines, and my kids love it so much, and the experience is second to none because they see the look on their face. It's great. But I just did a little research and took a little time back, and then I started to do it myself. So I was like, why not just do this and bring it to the area? And look what we got here. We got Bob Backlund and the Loki and Jabroni show.
Right. So you started, if I'm not mistaken, with the double banger with Blair Tugman and Tony Atlas. That was the first ever.
Yeah, that was our first one.
And then you went on to Shane Douglas.
Yeah.
And now legend himself, 2013 Hall of Fame Bob Backlund. What do you have in the future for Connor Promotion?
I got a lot in the future. We got one coming August 26th is a Marty Jannetty one. And we got a mystery one we got set up for the weekend after Bob. We haven't announced it yet, but that's going to be a shocker.
I told you didn't have to pay me for that one. I'll come sign autographs all night long. It's
that
okay.
That one's going to be good. I mean, Bob's one's going to be good, too. He's got a lot of stuff. It's crazy because I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid, and Monday Night Raw every Monday, and you watch it in New York. They're all sitting in New York and there, and now we're just sitting next to them. It's pretty
right,
neat.
Right here in Oakdale, Connecticut.
You never know. You never know what's going to happen in a day.
Exactly.
So the day is
pretty crazy.
A couple questions are coming in out of Philadelphia. Drew DeCarlos, who's your favorite person to wrestle ever?
I loved them all. I've never really picked out one that I liked more than the other. I enjoyed what I was doing. I was having a lot of fun, and I was working under the greatest boss ever, Vince McMahon Sr. Every day was a pleasure, and every match was a pleasure. And I just never picked one out. But I guess February 20th of 1978, getting the belt from Billy Superstar Graham was a pretty memorable one.
Excellent.
But I just enjoyed the business, and I enjoyed enjoyed everything about it.
All right, you know what? I'm not even going to wait. June 29, 1982 was my first ever professional wrestling match. About 33 rows up, Madison Square Garden, cage match with you and Jimmy Snuka.
Yep, and he jumped off.
Yes, he did. Another question from our listeners from the very top of the cage. The listener wants to know.
The classic video whenever you watch the VHS, if it didn't get stuck in the VCR, you can see that in the beginning.
Yep. I was there. Now that's one of my crowning moments to say I was there. Only 18,000 people could say they were there. The rest, I saw it on television. So proud for me. The question we got was, how hard was it to time your roll out of the way with Snuka's leap so neither of you hurt each other on that leap?
That's not a hard thing to do. Just rolling out, when he's about the time when he's at his peak in the air.
Okay.
Halfway from where he jumped to where you're at, get out of there. And it was dangerous to have Snuka land on you. Very dangerous.
I had heard that
for a lot of different reasons. I'm saying.
We'll stick to the.
You can't. You're not supposed to hurt your opponent.
Right. We'll stick to the good one. I had met Don Morocco, and he said on the leap he did on Snuka in '83, his knees hit Morocco in the thigh, and he was black and blue for 3 weeks.
Yeah. You were safe to move.
Yeah, right.
Get out of the way. Yeah.
But it was that was a big night, a memorable night. It was at a landmark. guess you could say. And Stuka had he was a great person in the ring, a wonderful person in the ring. It's, he had it all down pat.
Yeah, he was a fun guy to watch, definitely.
Yeah. And Don Morocco was pretty outrageous too.
Oh yeah.
I wrestled 2 matches with him on one day, and they were both an hour. One was in the Capitol Center, and then one was in the Spectrum. We had to change it. We just changed everything, did them different because people were driving both matches. Mm-hmm. So, but I lost about 10 pounds that day. And he gained 10. Wow. I was trying to keep up with him.
Right. But, now we know Saturday is an all ages gimmick, Matt.
All ages
right?
gimmick from 6 to 9. Yep.
Okay. You have food there, and so families, guys, understand there is food. Great place to eat. I definitely recommend Onion Rings always.
Yeah.
And why don't you tell them too, Bob, if they already have a copy of the book too, what else you're going to be selling there too? Because I know you're not just selling the book. Tell them what other items.
I have these posters that this is my favorite poster. It's a tribute to Vince McMahon Sr. because he's such a gentleman, and you could trust him. If he said something that was going to happen, it was going to happen. You didn't have to worry about it. And I have some a few pictures from the past. And then the book is the main thing.
The main thing is the suspenders. What happened to the suspenders?
Oh.
I get the red suspenders.
Those are the ones.
I signed these for people, and then the red suspenders. I just started doing that not too long ago.
That's the best part about it.
I did a survey on Facebook to see if it would work. And
it'll work. I know a couple people are going to buy a couple pairs over the weekend, so it's definitely going to work.
I can see people eating that up too. The suspenders and maybe even the suspender bow tie combo. I can see people eating that up.
I'm getting a bow tie. But I'm getting one that you have to tie.
Oh.
But I don't know how to tie it yet. So I'm going to go to menswear and tell them I want to have that bow tie, but I'm not going to buy it unless you teach me how to tie it.
Do you know how to tie your own bow tie?
No.
Or you always clipped it?
I just have
never knew. I've always wanted to know.
It was a clip.
I've always wanted to know. Now I know. So
you had a tag team partner on the bow tie.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna try to learn myself.
Every day.
We got kids that are all over YouTube learning how to make slime and pipe bombs. I'm sure I can find something how to tie a bow tie.
Yeah.
People are forming ISIS, and we're learning how to find
right.
bow ties.
Well, we're on a mission.
We are on a mission. Everyone out there is learning how to tie a bow tie, courtesy of Mr. Bob Backlund.
Yeah, I was going to tape it too when I tie it, so they could see how
do
to
it. Nice. If we talk to Eddie, we can make that exclusive to our YouTube page. Tying a bow tie with Mr. Bob Backlund, exclusive on YouTube.
So
he's giving us the thumbs up, so we're in, guys. That's our next video.
Then we patent it so nobody can take it.
Absolutely. We're gonna get Connor promotion in on the deal too. I bet you would there. Just don't say the other word. So how you said you had the mystery guest? You got Marty Jannetty. Any other things you're working on for Connor promotion?
Yeah, we're on one of the vendors on the big event on November 11th in New York. That's one if any wrestling fan wants to go to. It doesn't have to be a wrestling fan because last March they had this March they had the headliners were Mike Tyson and Tito Ortiz and stuff like that. So you don't have to be a wrestling fan. You've been at that one show too before. The big event's huge. It's 100+ wrestlers. Definitely a fun gig to be at.
All right. Got time for a few more questions? Well, we got all the time in the world, but I got a few more. Just came in from the peanut gallery. What would you say was your toughest match?
George Steele. Ooh. And not necessarily tough because of wrestling. It's just tough to get used to.
Different style?
Yeah, he was so chaotic in the ring, but he was a great character. It was, the business needs all kinds, but it was hard for me to adjust to his style.
Wow, I can imagine.
Yeah. Nightmares wrestling George Steele.
Wow. Another question. I'm thinking about getting my 6-year-old son who has ADHD into wrestling. What is your advice?
I would do it. Wrestling is a sport that you learn a lot of good lessons. I learned about peer pressure from wrestling in 8th grade. I learned about hard work paying off when I was a 10th grader. And you know how it's great to know that you're going to get a big reward if you work hard. And I realized that, and that's what made me probably outwork anybody in the business.
Nice. Nice.
How many people were standing up in the back room of Madison Square Garden doing the Harvard step test for an hour and then bending down and get that little wheel out and roll it back and forth.
Oh, man, I forgot about the
The
wheel.
Yeah, the thing that nobody ever bought at the yard sale. It was
400 reps.
No, I
That was
remember.
the main item whenever the
I
yard
made
sale
one.
was done. The next day, you'd see it.
I
next to the
made one
trash
as a
can.
kid out of a dowel in one of my dad's weights because I saw you on television. It was after the Eddie Gilbert accident. I got Eddie Gilbert the exercise wheel, and you showed how to do it, and I made one. My dad's looking at me like I got a head growing out of my butt. What the hell are you doing? Bob Backlund does it. I'm going to do it, too.
The wheel.
Yep.
The wheel, my whole upper body was, if you grabbed me and tried to turn me when you couldn't move, if I didn't want it to be moved.
And ESPN just recently did an article about the Bob Backlund wheel, and you gave a great testimonial, and they actually tried it out with professional athletes and said it works great. So, you know what? You and your yard sale story.
I've seen it.
I know.
Nobody ever bought. It's the one nobody ever used.
It's okay. It's okay, because,
But
hey, if it works for him.
I started.
Oh,
I was buying the wheels in a store, and they had the rod, and then this other was like plastic, and I'd do reps of the wheel, and I'd see along the road where I was rolling the wheel back and forth, I could see little white things. 2 months later, the pipe would go right through it. Oh, the hole would be that big.
Wow.
And then I found a wheel that had ball bearings in it, and it was 2 inches thick, and I got a rod to put in the middle. I could not wear that thing out. I don't know how many miles I put in, but the thing didn't even it was, I was really happy, and I started making wheels for people. And Ronnie Piper, who wrote the foreword in the book,
That's right.
he says, you could use that wheel on the front end of an airplane. and he said, and that's what I expected to get from him.
Wow. Yeah, I was shocked to see Piper had written the foreword until I read the book and found out the history between you guys. To me, your tenure in the WWF was coming to a close. His was just starting. There was that 7-month window in my mind being, 11 years old that, they just passed like ships in the night. Didn't know until I read the book that you guys had history together. What was Rod like as a person?
I got to know him, that I went out to Los Angeles to the Olympic Theater, and I met him there. We shook hands. We got in the ring. We had a match. They wanted me to go as far as I could with him and still win the match. We went 59 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow.
And, he puts it over, but I helped make his career, and that's what people did in the NWA. When you were a champion, you went into Florida Championship Wrestling, and you couldn't make their top guy look bad. You had to make him look better than you, but you had to win the match to wrestle somebody in Texas the next night. So I was trained down there with Harley Race and Jack Briscoe and Terry Funk and Dory Funk, and they were doing that, and I knew how to do that too. I beat Jimmy Snuka in Madison Square Garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
How good did he do after I beat him?
He went through the roof. He went absolutely through the roof. Again, through the roof. He was bigger than life.
How about Sergeant Slaughter? How did he do?
Awesome.
I never hurt their career.
Absolutely not.
Never hurt
everybody. And now that you're saying it, I can run through the list. Patera, Morocco, Stud. I'm trying to remember.
Like that in
Greg
eras, though.
Valentine,
They did it back in the day, and they do it now. Anybody that goes against one of the champions always gets known.
Right. And it's more like that now. They lost that a lot during the 90s, I think, where once you got beat, you were forgotten about. See you later. You're out the door. But, Bob, you're right. I'm Bob Orton through the roof. My Lord. Chic through the roof.
Vince, I think Terry Funk thought this too way back when I first started. But I was a constant underdog.
Now, would you say, too, that Bret Hart went through the roof after he beat him at whatchamacallit or no?
I think Bret was on his way.
Series,
you know
right?
what? Funny you should say that. I think Bret was on his way up, and he was in
that helped.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't say it did. His first run with the title, okay, iffy. He goes with Bob Backlund. He gets beat, of course. That was a good one. I'm just pointing at you. That's a good one. I know you're a Bret Hart guy, but that's okay. We still love you anyway.
A lot of people mad about
guys.
Oh yeah,
he was one of the first guys that wore pink, and it was cool.
Right.
You got
But
grown
yeah,
men
where did you
cheering
go
with a
after
pink
that?
shirt on.
You had 4 more championships after that. He's one of the brightest and biggest stars in the business.
Yep.
After going through, and I was there at WrestleMania 11, the I Quit match in Hartford. That was fantastic. You never said I quit, though.
Speaking of Hartford,
You
my
never
name's
said I
in
quit.
the roof of that place.
That's right. Piper was the ref in that match.
Oh, yeah, he was, yeah.
I almost got thrown out of that show.
So did I. What'd you do?
I held up a big old sign that said ECW, and they came and told me to put it down or I'd have to leave. And I said, well, my beer's only half gone. I guess I'll put the
paid like
sign
$9
down.
for it.
Plus, I haven't seen Bob Backlund yet.
Yeah.
My Lord. Any questions you have, Matt?
Believe it or not, I've asked him a lot already.
Have you really?
Yeah, me and him talked already once before this, but
All right, Andrew, I know you're out there and you're on the live feed. Not until the end will Bob Backlund put me in the crossface chicken wing. Not until the end. Stop asking for the crossface chicken wing during the broadcast.
We'll end right now.
No!
Rolling credits.
Yeah, we're going to finish.
How about a pretend chicken wing for my girlfriend real quick? And yes, Drew, here you go. I'll stand up. Take the cans off. See if we can boom like this just a little bit. See, we're professional here. We can do this. Scoop this right over here. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Mike's turning the camera.
The chicken wing.
Oh, dear God.
Is getting the guy's arm back like this. This is a chicken wing. See this hand here? And then this is the crossface. And I was the first one to have the chicken wing on somebody and do the crossface and then clasp his hands and choke the heck out of the guy.
I'll be back next week.
it could be replaced.
Yeah, be comfortable. Yeah, be good.
Oh, okay.
Did that loosen you up
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, a little-
Woo!
A little Swedish massage or whatever they call it.
I don't know what you call it, but I can see how that could be very painful if you're subduing someone.
They banned it too, wasn't it? It wasn't allowed or something.
What's that?
Wasn't it? Like, didn't they take that at one point that you couldn't do it or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
No?
You're very flexible, though.
Thank you.
I didn't think you were that because a lot of times you can't turn the guy's chin off, really.
Yeah, you could turn your chin. That was good.
Your neck is,
Well, it's usually because I'm at Pistol Pete's Bar and Grill looking like, where is my beverage? I can't find that.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got here? That was great. Mr. Pagano sent you a message earlier. All my love and respect to you and to everybody here. Thank you, Mr. Pagano. And we move on.
That goes both ways. We love all of you people out there. Thank you very much every day.
Absolutely.
Yep. You make it.
You have a chapter in your book, and you've already made mention of Vince McMahon Sr. a few times. The 6 words that changed my life. When he came to you in 1977 and said, we're putting the title on you. You had a year to think about it. What was the mental preparation for going from new face in the territory to the heavyweight champion of the world?
If I would have been raised out here in this environment, and this is like Bruno territory, but I was raised in Minnesota, so I didn't know about how big and how over he was with the people. I was out in Minnesota listening to the AWA. When I got into wrestling, I was down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and then I was going up to St. Louis, and I was going down to Florida. I went there, and that was the territories that I was in. And I was down in Florida, and they wanted me to, Vince McMahon called and wanted me to come up and do an interview and have a match. We did that. The second time we had a match, he told me that I was going to be the next guy to take the belt from Bruno, with Billy Graham getting it first, and then I take it from Billy. But it didn't really hit me how big he was and what a big thing was to be able to replace that guy. My goal was just to get to Madison Square Garden when I left Princeton, Minnesota. And we had the magazines out there. I didn't look at them very close, but it did talk about Madison Square Garden.
Right.
But I was very comfortable. And Bruno, I didn't know. We didn't clash. We didn't fit right away. He didn't know me, and I didn't know him. But today we love each other. We figure we're both on pretty much the same page, and he's got more integrity than anybody that I know. And we really are happy with the kind of people we are, and that's the kind of person that Vince McMahon Sr. wanted to have the championship and represent his company.
Fantastic. Because, I mean, I'll tell you, that was my childhood. I've lived most of my life in this area, and from 78 to 83, it was all about, well, for me, Bob Backlund and Gene Simmons. And those were my heroes, and I'm sitting here with one now. Guys, again, buy the book. Backlund, from All-American Boy to Wrestling's World Champion. Also, Saturday night, Connor Promotions, Pistol Pete's Bar and Grill, 29 Stonington Road, Norwich, Connecticut, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come meet this gentleman and say hello to us.
Can I tell them how they can order?
Absolutely. This is your time, sir.
I have this book, and you can go to bobbacklundnow.com. And if you order the book on bobbacklund.com, it'll be through PayPal. PayPal sends me your information. I do it myself. I send you an email, and I say, thank you. I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to send it to you tomorrow.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
I don't have anybody else. I'm touching the book. I sign it for you, and I enjoy doing that. I like things getting done on time, and I don't want to let anybody down. I know it's a great read, and everything's been positive about it, and I'm just very, very proud of the things that happened to me in my life and how things fit out, and I'm very proud of the book and the words. I'm on a mission, too, to inspire as many people as I can of all ages. It's never too late to try to improve your life. And I'm excited to spark somebody's eyes to be able to climb the ladder of success, because that's what I did with the things that I learned from amateur wrestling. Amateur wrestling gave me all my knowledge. I was a very poor student. I was the worst student. I was the worst wrestler. But learning that hard work paid off made me work hard.
Worst to first.
Absolutely. And that's it's all over this book, guys. Seriously. Yeah, I got mine. There's my autograph copy right there. Dated. And do you do this with every book? Dated?
Everybody. I don't sign it where you can't read it. I mean, it's a little chaos.
There's been some signatures. My son's got events, so you can tell the guy took too many chair shots over the years because you can't really make out the signature.
Talking about being an inspiration and influence, one of the questions that came in was, what or who was the biggest influence in your life?
In my life, it might have been a coach.
Okay.
I walked into the office. I played football, and I was wrestling. I was in track. And in the 8th grade, I was not going to take a physical and drop out of football. And I went into the coach and gave it to him. But when I went out the door, I still had it in my hand. For some reason, I don't know what he said, but I didn't quit. And if I would have quit that time, I was going to quit football. I was going to quit wrestling somewhere in my life, and I was going to be a complete disaster. At this time in my age, I was hanging on the fence. I was hanging around with kids that were 3 years older, and I was drinking beer with them, and I was getting in fights with them. I was beginning to be a complete loser. And that one instance kept me going. It showed me that you should never give up and never quit. But if I would have, and that coach was Mike Skavnak, and he was the 8th grade science teacher.
All right. Do you still train?
Do I still train?
Obviously not like the 70s, but you're still exercising, working out every day?
Oh, yeah, I train twice a day.
The wheel collecting dust, or you still using the wheel?
Yeah, I still do the wheel. Yeah.
You're not going to let that wheel go, Matty, are you?
You won't see that out front of his house in the yard sale. The wheel won't be there.
I might do one workout where I do 700 squats without stopping. Oh, wow. And then I lift weights over my upper body.
Wow.
Nice.
Really?
It takes 5 minutes.
If I did that, you'd have to Photoshop it.
Wow. We definitely owe a debt of gratitude.
I'd have to have you make me a flyer on that.
Right? We definitely owe a debt of gratitude to Matt. We will definitely see you Saturday. He'll be back on the show again the next time he brings another fantastic guest to town, whether it's the Pistol Pete's or Rugas or wherever.
When do we drop the gem, Mike? Do we drop the gem now? Do we keep it awaiting?
Hey. Let's do it.
You want to just do it on
Want to do a Loki and Jabroni exclusive? Let's do it.
All right.
What's your gem?
Saturday, June 10th at Pistol Pete's from 8 to 10 p.m. I got former WWE Tag Team Champions Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags coming in for a 2-hour meet and greet, and they're also bringing Andrew Anderson along with them.
Nice. Very cool.
That one will definitely be a fun show.
Very cool.
Yeah, I talked to Brian personally. He's a cool dude, class act, and he's going to be in the area, and he wants to come hang out with us. So what a better way to do it than with the Loki Jabroni Show, Pistol Pete's, and Connor Promotions.
Hell of a tag team, man. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Triple threat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be. Yeah.
We had one more question that just came in. Mr. Backlund was my hero as a kid. Please tell him I said thanks for the cheeseburgers at Glastonbury McDonald's back in the day. When the Hartford Civic Center caved in from the ice storm in '78, my dad and uncle were taking us up to Springfield to see him, and I guess you bought this gentleman cheeseburgers back then.
Pay it forward in the 70s.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope. No. Thank you very much for that comments, and it was a pleasure.
Right?
It was a pleasure.
Well, I'm going to bring Mike back in just a second. I have a little personal anecdote that I'm going to tell while we do the switch. It was 1993, your comeback, Hartford Civic, New Haven Coliseum. You were wrestling Shawn Michaels. I'm in the third row, and we brought a sign that said, "Welcome home, champ. We believe in you." Got done with the match, and we're collecting all our T-shirts and swag, and felt a big paw on my shoulder, and I turned around, and there he is, standing right in front of me, Bob Backlund. Guys, I want to thank you for that sign. It meant so much to me. I wasn't sure about this comeback, and I just stood there and like, thank you. Thank you for coming back. And thank you for... Before you cut me off, I was telling him before, I had a weird one like that, too. I was starstruck, because back then he was the guy, so... I was watching a show in the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence before, and I was way up. I couldn't even get a good seat because it was like a last-minute show, so I was way up, and all of a sudden the security guys telling me, you got to sit down, you got to sit down. I was like, why do I got to sit down? I'm almost in the nosebleeds. All of a sudden he comes behind me, and he's standing there. He must have been scouting talent for the show. It was pretty crazy. I was like, I didn't even know what to say to him. Like nowadays, I would have him run over and have him got my autograph for my kids or something. But back then, I didn't know what to say. It's like a deer in the headlights. Like, whoa. Yeah. And everybody was like, what is wrong with you? I said, dude, that was Bob Backlund. He's like, where? I was like, turn around, he was gone already. He's like, never mind, he was right there. Like, yeah, sure, you're for lying. I was like, whatever, he was there. I seen him. Now we got him here sitting next to us. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it is. And it's great. Thank you again from Connor Promotions for not only bringing him here, but bringing him to Pistol Pizza.
Thank you guys, too. You guys have been with me since day one, so that's why.
And we're going to be with you as long as you keep doing fantastic stuff like this.
It's going to be fun. Like I said, I got another one in the work in July, too. I work with Captain's Corner, Nick, the guy we worked with Shane Douglas. We got one coming in the works with July. We just don't know who that is yet, but.
Good deal. I'm feeling like I'm cheating on somebody. Hi, how are you? He's coming back, man. He's coming back. Thanks, Matt. Much appreciated. Hang out, man.
Matt, have a good trip home.
Don't leave us yet. I was watching you.
That's our own giant right there.
That's right.
Man.
We got Matt the Giant.
So, I mean, I actually was going to say, what's it like to go a full hour wrestling in the Royal Rumble 2013? But, man, your entire career, it seems like all your matches were 59 minutes, 58 minutes, 45 minutes. I mean.
Yeah, I'd have a match with somebody for an hour or 50 minutes or 40 minutes or 30 minutes, and I'd put the cross-faced chicken wing on them, and in 30 seconds I'd be completely exhausted.
Wow. Because of the struggle against them?
What I did when I got up.
Right. Wow. That's so crazy.
I put every ounce of energy that I had in that 30 seconds.
Wow. You can usually tell. Once that slapped on, there was so much energy between you and the opponent. It looked like.
Yeah. Bob might be the only guy to go an hour twice in the Royal Rumble because it was Royal Rumble 93. You went 60 minutes and some odd seconds.
Yeah, he was number 12 in, right? Wasn't he number 12 in that?
And I'll never forget Monsoon and Heenan. Is Bob Backlund still in there? Bob is still in there. 48 minutes going strong. And when you got tossed, my heart just went through my butt. I'm like, no, come on. He should have won.
But they throw you in for something like that, especially something during the Royal Rumble. I mean, if you ever watch some of the Royal Rumbles now, sometimes you'll I think the one last Shawn Michaels was in last, or even Chris Jericho, prime example, just kind of sits over in the corner. And
Yeah.
You don't see them for 15, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden they come out.
But the
With
first
you,
time, yeah,
I mean,
right.
you're literally.
He's 42 years old when he did it the first time for an hour.
That's what I'm saying. You're not hiding
I'm
in the
44.
corner.
I can't do anything for an hour.
You're over there like scrapping with everybody the whole time. There's no like hiding. You're literally there. I mean, and then you turn around and you see this, and the confidence that you're inspiring off of that is just like I said. You said it yourself. You weren't the best by any stretch of the imagination, but your attitude, what you portray right there, is what made you that champion. Is what made you Bob Backlund. What made everybody look to you like the way that they look to you now. The cheeseburger, the sign stories. All these stories are about this great guy that people have come across, and you've already touched their lives in so many different ways, man. It's incredible. It's incredible. And you're still doing it. And you're still doing it to this day.
One thing I'm sort of proud of in my life, I learned these 6 things from amateur wrestling. When I got into the wrestling business, I lived by them. I tested them 2 different colleges and left marks that are still in both of them. But anyway, I lived by these principles. And when I got in the wrestling business, it didn't change me. I changed it.
People need to learn that.
Oh, yeah.
People realize that I live by that. And people understand that I'm not going to let them down. I'm not going to go home tonight and beat my wife up.
That's the problem with too many people in Hollywood.
I'm not going to go home and get caught with drugs. I'm not going to lie and cheat and swear. I don't use that kind of discourse. It's my job to be a good role model.
Right.
That's what Vince McMahon Sr. wanted me to do. And that's what I'm still doing for him.
No, to this day, absolutely.
That poster is a tribute to Vince McMahon Sr. And it's my job, and I love being a good person, somebody that you all can trust.
Absolutely.
We need more of that in this world.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, especially the way that it is nowadays.
Right.
Man.
And we could spend hours talking about the Bob Backlund that came up through the ranks, was the world champion up through 83, 84 when you kind of bowed out. I'm interested right now. We can go back to all that. You were probably the only heel in the 90s that was a heel because you were good. Live clean, live smart, respect people, do this. And you had this wonderful vocabulary. I watched it. I was like, hey, there's my man Bob Backlund. What the hell is a plebeian? I got to get my dictionary out. And you learned by watching Bob Backlund in the 90s. How much fun was that to be a good, moral, upstanding human being and have people just hate you for it?
When I came back, I didn't go back with that intention.
Right.
I went back with the intention of being the All-American boy because that's what the people love. And I learned that the people don't love that anymore.
Some of us did.
Yeah, well, but there was a big majority.
Oh, yeah.
There was a percentage that was kind of small. But I went to Vince Jr. and said, I want to be bad now. He said, well, why do you want to be bad now when you refused in the 80s? I said, because the good guys are lying, cheating, and swearing. Let me be bad by doing good things. And I had a policy that people had to recite the presidents of the United States of America to me to procure my signature. And I thought that was a good thing. And people asked me if I went nuts during that time period. I was just crazy because I thought I was doing something good for society.
I thought the character was fantastic, first of all, because it's not too far from who you are. It was just, you crank the volume up super high.
Chris, all through my career as being the All-American boy, I was the guy that couldn't do a promo.
I heard that about, I love the promos. I'm not going to lie.
I was doing a promo for an All-American boy.
Right.
So when I became Mr. Backlund, there was no more talk about he can't do a promo.
Right. Because people loved it.
I was going to say, that goes right into the story of when you were up against, Owen Hart there. And they were trying to have him throw the Hart family throw the towel on you.
Owen was my
cornerman.
Cornerman.
That's right.
He was trying to talk to mom.
Right.
Yeah.
that was during that whole persona phase too.
That was great. 8.5 minutes watching Bret Hart cry.
That's what I was like.
I loved it.
Well, yeah, and I had my hands clasped.
Yeah, I remember. You
I had
were
my
up
legs
around.
figure forward over his body.
Yeah.
So there's no place he could go.
And he put on a heck of a show. Not only Bret, but Owen put on a heck of a show, crying the blues. You got to do it. He's got to get hurt, Mom. As soon as the towel hit the ground, got to go see you when I see it.
Yeah, that was a night to remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was probably one of my bigger moments in that, bringing in the whole Bob Backlund
Well,
thing.
you were a Bret Hart.
I was a Bret Hart fan at the time, so it was funny to see that happening. You know what I'm saying, and to watch it all go down. And like I said, just like Chris said, you still personaed that golden boy, that good boy image, and it was no matter who fought you, they ended up being the bad guy.
You didn't see
end,
during that period. We can go to the I Quit match. You can go to the Survivor Series 94. You go to any Bob Backlund match from the time the Mr. Backlund character was born, up to and including his last match in the WWF at the time. Never took a shortcut.
No.
Never broke the rules. Didn't rake an eye. Didn't punch, kick, gouge, whatever. Bob Backlund still wrestled like Bob Backlund. When bell to bell, it was the same match you got in 78, 83, all the way down. The only difference is your eyes are bugging out, get your hands in front of your face, and you really thought he's going to rip that guy's arm off with that chicken wing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I thought I didn't think I'd ever do this.
Right.
That's when I was looking at my hands. What, did I really do that? Put Bret Hart in the Oh gosh. I mean, all those
that was the best look, though. That was the best. That was. I think how many people have taken that from you? You really think about that. Randy Orton has that look now. Who else does that? The psycho guy that you like, Bray.
Oh,
Bray does that.
That
when he twists and he gets that crazy thing. They take that, they take it to the next extreme. But you were one of the first people to really pull that crazy image off.
That wasn't planned. And most of the stuff that I do is extemporaneously done.
Just your body just naturally does it.
No, there's no script.
Right.
They don't write scripts for. I'm the only one they don't write scripts for.
That's
even to this day with the Darren Young.
Yeah.
And when was the last time you got to talk to Darren?
Oh, I talked to him the other day.
How is he doing?
Well, he's doing all this. They got to get approval from the doctor, and when the doctor gives approval, then he's probably going to be back.
And
I have no clue whether
that was great. Just being, he got me back into watching wrestling a couple years ago, and there I am on a Monday night, and you see the Darren Young graphic come up, and who's on the other side of his Bob Backlund? Like, oh, give me the phone. I got to call Mike. Did you plan this?
Yeah.
10 years old again. This is fantastic.
They always seem to do that. They always seem to bring in. I'll tell. That's one thing I do like about the WWE is they do kind of know how to use their legends. I'm going to say for the most part. Let's say 8 out of 10 legends they know how to use right. A couple of them do kind of falter to win, but it does seem like when they bring you guys back, they have a plan for it, a story for it, and it usually does work out really good for you guys. 2013. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
2013, you go into the Hall of Fame. How's that feel for you? Like,
It was all right. I had an issue going. He was other times.
I know.
They fixed it, and then it's an honor to be there. God, it's something really special. The Hall of Famer.
No, absolutely,
It's a Hall of Famer.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about your career, though. I mean, you started in the 70s, and you're still
That night, though, there's only one thing I wished I would have did.
Crossface
Vince
Jr.
When Vince came out to ask me to get off the
I've always wondered about that because he snuck
Yes.
up behind you and he had the little strut going on, and you're impassioned, you're in your speech, and there he is.
When he turned around to walk into the dressing room, I should have jumped on him and
Nice German suplex into
That would've
the
been
wall
great.
would have been good.
That would have been great. I would have loved that one.
cross-face chicken wing all the way.
Over the years, there's been, even in your book you talk of it, there's an up and down relationship with Vince Jr., Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Let's go back to 1983-84. You made mention of it earlier. He asked you to turn heel and make a run on Hogan. In your book, you say you still have the paper contract to this day with that money offer. I'm not going to ask you what it was. I know what stopped you, but for the benefit of the listeners, what stopped you from making that heel turn?
Well, it was in about 84, about that time, and I had a daughter. She was 6 years old, and she was going to start school the next year. And I heard that Angelo Savoldi, his family had a rough time with the boys that he had in school when he was a heel. And I didn't want to hurt my daughters as far as going to school and having somebody hate her father and maybe hate her because of that. And that's why. And I was trying to be a role model, having these tournaments and telling kids to do good things. I just thought it wasn't the right time and the right place for me to do that.
It's huge, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's ultimate like decision to
putting
for something
family
else. Yeah.
above money, which was fantastic. and guys, read the book. This is a guy who saved his money and did well, where a lot of guys would go out and party their money away and they're left, destitute. This guy put his money away and held himself up, raised himself a wonderful daughter. She's in Florida now, am I not?
She works for the United States Navy. And when I got done saying that, Vince said, well, geez, you're going to lose a lot of money. That's money. I said, my daughter's more important.
Yeah, no, you can tell that. I mean, then obviously she works for the Navy now. She's obviously a great adult. She contributes a heck of a lot more than, say, some of these other people out there in this world. So
she's a marine biologist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, then she contributes a heck of a lot more. It was a different time back then. A lot of people really took wrestling
seriously.
No, it really was. If you told anybody wrestling was fake, you would get a crossface chicken wing put on you because there was some really serious people out there.
Not long after one of the first couple WrestleManias, we put my grandmother on a plane to go home, and it was Billy Jack Haynes, Paul Roma, and somebody else, can't remember who it is. My brother's watching. Matt, send me a message. I need to know who the third one was. And they were all together. And behind them carrying his gear was George Steele, who you mentioned earlier. And here's my brother, brazen, all of 6-7 years old, runs right up to George Steele. Hey, can I have your autograph? And I'm thinking, he's just going to get spat on. Yeah, kid, what's your name? He spoke English. Because they really did. They lived their character. Hercules Hernandez came through 10 minutes later. Hey, can we have your autograph? Piss off, kid. But he stayed in the role. I'm getting on a plane. I'm doing my job. They wanted you to believe it.
Heel's a heel.
Yeah.
Not just in the ring.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My grandfather had the privilege of being neighbors with Killer Kowalski in the Massachusetts area, and he lived doors down. If you knew him, he was just Walter. But if you saw him on the street and you were a wrestling fan, oh, Killer, you suck. He's gonna come at you, not kick your ass, but he's gonna come at you.
Oh yeah, he's gonna still play that role
because the heel was the heel.
Exactly.
The era of kayfabe. How do you feel about it dying?
Well, to me, it really didn't die.
Really?
Because I tried to do things the same way. I didn't change anything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, I had that policy about the presidents, and I gave this little girl my phone number in Colchester, Connecticut. She might be out, or her mom might be out on Facebook. She called me and said, I know the presidents. I went down to the Colchester Library, and we're sitting there, this little girl and her mom, and she signs that story. She recites the presidents, and I sign a picture for her and everything. And then, just maybe 2 years ago, the mom sent me an email because I finally got on Facebook.
Yep.
And the daughter, she's married and older now. She's not living in this area, but I would have wanted to go down, hoping she would be around sometime and see her again. But that was like
crazy.
Yeah, you never. It's just amazing what happens to you.
I know.
On day to day.
You really did touch a lot of people over the years, and are still doing so today. Let's see. We got what was your favorite WrestleMania moment? 2-part question. And if you could have one last match against someone in the current crop, who would it be against?
The current crop, you know what? The match wouldn't be the same because they don't have the art. They don't build the match. They don't have a big peak at the end, and I'm not sure who I would want to wrestle because they just don't have the right or the skills that I like to see in somebody.
I'd like to see you put the chicken wing on Roman Reigns.
Thank God.
not skills as far as the ability to do moves, but the skills to develop a match.
Right.
For an hour or half hour, 45 minutes. It's all different. But and that, like, they script everything. I'm not used to scripting everything.
Right.
You guys would call it.
I go out in the ring and we do a match and we do it according to how the people are reacting and what's going on. But we don't, in the dressing room, we might know the last move that you do at the end of the match. And then all from that, it was all things that would, our goal is to draw the people emotionally into the match more and more and more.
Right.
A little bit at first, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then we can hit Goofy, and a lot.
And then they're all over the place.
Right.
But it's an art, and the art is gone.
Exactly. So you see these matches. I don't know if you've happened to catch any of the newer ones. The one that we just went ape crazy over in the last, what was it? The Fast Rush. I don't even remember.
We were
Fastlane. That's what it was. Fastlane.
Last Connor promotion.
So you have Bray Wyatt and you have Randy Orton, and they're literally wrestling in this old beat down house, throwing each other around tables, knocking. I mean, is this?
Do you remember we talked to Shane Douglas that night at the show? Go ahead,
I
Bob.
got to back up. Sure. Randy Orton would have been the guy I picked.
Okay.
I wrestled senior
and junior,
and then the son.
That would have been great.
3 different generations.
Should have done it during the Legend Killer option. That would have been a really good opening
and
right
it's funny
there.
because when we were at the event, it was the Connor Promotions event with Shane Douglas. I was standing next to Shane for most of that match, and I asked him, and I'm a fan. I've never gotten into the ring other than to bounce off the ropes at a local show that we've been a part of.
Yeah.
And I said, why are they telling the story in the house? And he mentioned your name. He mentioned Dominic DiNucci, and he mentioned Harley Race. He said, back in the day, you'd say, I'm coming to Pittsburgh, and I'm facing Mike Smith, and we're going to get it done, and 110% and all that. That was all the story you needed to tell until it got in the ring. The story was told in the ring. Now it seems the story is told with the vignettes and the interview, and in the ring it's just spot after spot after spot. There's no storytelling between the ropes.
Right.
That's my opinion. And that's being someone who's never stepped foot in a ring.
It's harder. It's like TV. You can't be told, I got to go home in 10 minutes if you're going to do that art, because you never know when the peak is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
And and back then, the TV was promotion to get people into the arenas, so there was never any TV at the live or the matches in arenas.
Right, certain venues. I know Philadelphia had it. The Garden had it.
Yeah, they had it,
and Boston.
Yeah.
Because we'd catch those shows and be like, wow, this is what I missed. I can't miss the next show.
Yeah, exactly.
And you always saw Finkel or Capetta in the ring saying, hey, and they did it on the TV show, so they used it again as a promotional tool. I remember a couple of times you went off like 5th out of 10 matches, and one I remember most is Greg Valentine. And you guys got into a double count out outside the ring. Hey, we're coming back next month, and it's the return match, Texas Death, with Greg Valentine and Bob Backlund. Put your money down. I'm going. It was that simple.
Yeah, you know what though? I did when I knew they had some TV ones that were on TV way back then, but I don't think they didn't. I can't remember them saying you got to go home at this time.
Right.
They didn't, but they worked it in.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've got so much on TV. They just have a schedule. It's like almost a party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the 205 is not doing good at all at this point. I mean, they pretty much took all the cruiserweights and they threw them in their own show, and they're not doing good
and half
now.
the fun back in the day as a Bob Backlund fan growing up is you have Bob Backlund versus John Studd. There's a 140
That's what I'm saying.
pound
There's a
weight difference.
huge difference, and he still pulls it off. Right.
Right.
Then that gives you something to look for. You're like, wow, this isn't going to happen. I mean,
this could be the day my guy goes down.
When Kevin Nash went up against Rey Mysterio Jr., what was going to happen? I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory at that point. But no, when we had the old school wrestling like that, it was exciting.
Right.
It kept you on the seat of
TV
your
put
pants,
you into
man.
the arenas. Now the arenas it's in reverse almost. When you can put a house show at this big arena in Bridgeport, live event, Junior, if you're watching, and the arena show will draw 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Whereas we went to Providence 2 weeks after Bob lost the belt and he's in the main event against Mass Superstar, building was packed.
Huge, yeah.
You could not fit another person in because the TV brought you there. Now, well, why should I go to Mohegan Sun 6 miles down the road, a lot of people will think, if I can just sit on my couch in my drawers and watch the show?
Yeah.
I'd rather be there. I want to hear the excitement and the fireworks and see the action. And I think, in going back to the point of...
Some people want to be there to be in the action.
Right.
There's signs and things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
The TV shows are actually pretty good as far as...
Oh, yeah. Production value is fantastic. But yeah, like even with the signs back then, you made your sign like I did in 93. And even when I was a kid, made one. Not that you could have seen me in 82. I was section 3008. Whatever. I was at the top of the garden in the purple seats.
That's a long ways away.
Yeah, it is. But it looked spectacular. And I had my little 8x11. Oh, go Bob Backlund. I'm 8 years old. Yay. But you brought him because you were hoping you'd get that one glimpse and you point up and there he is. That's my guy. But that was the fun of it then. Now it's like, I'm going to put my friend's name on here. Joe didn't help me move. Who cares? Who cares? I've seen more signs like that than I care to talk about.
I like pizza.
Or the guy who brought a fat head of our
pineapple does belong on pizza.
Absolutely. They brought, do you remember the Royal Rumble this year? They brought a fat head of our former guest, Conrad Thompson, from Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard.
Yes, they did.
Fat head of Conrad Thompson. And I tweeted him that night, did you just see your face in Houston? Yes, I did. I don't know why.
But it's there. It's there. That's
Right.
what people do now, man. I mean, it's more about, I think it's more about the shock value of what they can try to do next.
Right.
As opposed to actually having real wrestling,
Well,
you
It's
know?
always about how can we top what we did last week, or we just finished WrestleMania. Now, how can we top that next year for a year?
Right.
How can they get to a higher point?
And that's where, to me, that's where the value in the past wrestling was better. Because you do the Garden, and I think you were doing monthly Garden, Madison Square Garden back then. So you do Monday night at the Garden. Well, how do we top this Monday night 4 weeks from now? It was, the story had to be awesome and pure, because I had read in your book there was some programs that got cut short because the fans just weren't into it. You slide someone else in, like a Bob Orton or Jimmy Snuka or Kenny Patera, and the roof goes off the place. You guys made them believe in everything you did. And I don't think they have that today, and it's unfortunate.
It's changed, but they got people that are watching it pretty closely. But I think, there's a room to go out there and somebody to maybe try to mirror what was going on back then.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do pretty well. And not even maybe take too many fans away from it. There's just a lot of people that don't go that were fans back then.
Right.
But they have big attendance. There's people asking for that art. They know that the art is not there for fans.
Are we doomed with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon at the helm right now?
Well, that's the future.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Are we doomed with this future? You think?
Well, you know what? I'm not. I got things going on in my life. When I stopped wrestling, I was a bail bondsman. I was a sheetrock guy. I had an oil business. I don't sit home and watch television.
Right.
When I'm off, I'm doing things. I'm out running.
You're a doer. Yeah, we can see this right now. You want to be doing something during the interview, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to get out of here pretty soon. I'm going to grab you and put you in a headlock, and I'm going to grab Chris, and then I'm going to squeeze the heck out of him, and I'm going to leave right now. I'm going to be at Pistol Pete's next on Saturday night. 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock. Good day, gentlemen.
What the heck happened here? Are you okay? We lost everybody. Am I the only one that's still alive? Guys, we're going to take a quick breather. We're going to be right back. Give us 3 minutes. We'll see you then. Book another fucking guest.
What? You did me a favor and you got me Mark Slaughter, so I got you your boy. I didn't know he was going to beat the bejesus out of us. That's okay.
All awesome. All awesome.
I rather enjoyed it.
I know you did, because you didn't get any of the violence thrown upon you. Next time.
Maybe next time.
Next
yeah.
time, definitely.
It's because I asked him nicely not to break the equipment.
That's a good
Just
point.
break the hose. Don't
So,
break the
in
equipment.
case you guys didn't notice, we obviously went right into the show. So Bob was already here. We're ready to flow. We had some questions. We are live on three, count them, three
Platforms.
Platforms. Thank
Yes,
you.
you're welcome.
I couldn't spit that word out.
That's why we're a team.
YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, which is the Twitter equivalent of Facebook Live.
Right.
You can check us out on any of these. I am right now on the Periscope one. So if you guys are on here, I will be here answering your questions. To my left, Jabroni is going to be on Facebook. And right across over here, because we had Bob Backlund in the studio, we have our man,
In
Mr.
the box.
Eddie Focus.
Literally in the box.
In the box.
Today.
On YouTube. So
That used to
we
be-
have it all over the place.
For you historians that used to watch our once-a-month live feeds, he's in the Loki spot, whereas he used to be at the end of the run right there.
Yeah,
so,
when we were doing it at the bar. Absolutely.
And you can still catch some of those on the YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Go find us. While we're on the subject, guys, www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni. You want more great content like this? Donate to the show. $1 a month, $1 a week, $5 a week. You want to donate by episode, monthly?
Please
you want to
do.
invest?
Please do it.
Absolutely.
It helps us get bigger, better.
And get on that T-shirt.
I was going to
club.
say, yeah.
Get on the bi-monthly and monthly T-shirt.
Right
club.
now we got, 2 people on the T-shirt club. So
Yeah,
I wanna,
and one of them was asking me about it today. So,
yeah,
Max,
I want to get some people up on this thing so I can start making, 1 or 2 T-shirts. It's fucking.
it's going to have our name on it. You're going to be
Come on,
free
people.
advertising.
Come on, people. Jesus.
There's
Kill
not
me.
a time I don't wear one of my Loki and Jabroni show
I'm
t-shirts.
saying,
People
dude,
ask
I'm
me
saying,
about it.
We can't say it enough. I mean, just to have Ed brought it up today. If we would have had a lapel mic for Bob, as energetic as it is, he's a very I mean, think of it. The gentleman, he's how old is he? 68, right?
67, 68
years old, I think. He had more energy than me and
my
fucking
Lord.
Jabroni combined right now. I mean, he was fucking cross-facing the fuck out of us, dude. He couldn't wait to chicken freaking wing us again. It's like, what the hell, man?
And you brought it up privately. When we first started, I tried to get Bob here, and I was told, well, he doesn't do podcasts. He doesn't do a lot of radio. So whether or not you ever hear this, Jim Ross, thank you for breaking Mr. Backlund out of his shell, getting him comfortable with the whole idea of being on a podcast. Thank you to Connor Promotions.
Yeah.
And thank you for getting him to sit in between
Dude,
us.
all I did is, like I said, he was a really down-to-earth guy. We started talking on the phone. Great. Just great. Like I said, I'd hang up the phone like, oh, my God, I was just talking to Bob Backlund. What the heck?
And, second time we've had a Hall of Famer, WWE Hall of Famer on the show.
And now he is actually on the list with we only got a handful of people have actually been in-house.
Right, Ian has been in-house. Ian
Right?
Cunningham.
Big Ian C. We've had Deekman
Josh
in-house,
has been
the
in-house.
old house.
Yep.
And now we've had fucking Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund. Yeah.
We've had guests on the show, but we have not had that many in-house guests.
Or of that magnitude.
And to have Bob
sit
Backlund
here.
in the house, that was fantastic. We got some pictures that, of course, Lady J is going to be throwing up on our page for you.
Already there?
So they're already up there. If you guys want to see it, we grabbed some pictures.
I'm going to get them posted on the website, too. It's about time we start putting some stuff
That'd
on the
be
website.
great.
Yeah, that'd be especially that one.
I heard rumor through the rumor mill that Super Millennial Man is going to get a sidekick soon.
Oh, that's
I don't
gonna
wanna-
be
I don't
awesome.
wanna say
I want to see
anything.
that. I'm looking forward to that show. So what's on you guys' mind? I know.
Wow.
We came right into the whole Bob Backlund thing.
Right. What's on my mind is I read an article this week. Strangely enough, it's going to curl edge drawers and not about Kiss. The retirement is imminent. We've all thought about it. We've all known it. The farewell tour was not a farewell tour. Gene Simmons is quoted as saying, "I'm 67 now. I can only do this for a few more years." Here comes the part I question, and I'm waiting to see your forehead crinkle. We might do it at Yankee Stadium for free. Yeah, Gene Simmons, the guy who, if he could, would put his face on every dollar bill in America, wants to do a show, the last show ever, for free. Could it ever happen? Gene Simmons now. Guy who loves money more than our president.
Okay, if it's free, how are tickets being distributed?
Good question. I had the same question.
I would probably say it's going to be probably something on Facebook, an email thing or whatever. You email your name
Ticket
in
lottery
there.
type
Right,
thing?
Exactly. And then he'll choose. It'll probably be like if you win, you get 2 tickets. You know what I'm saying? So something
be.
like that.
Here's
Maybe they put it on. Maybe it's a free concert, but you go with Budweiser or you go with Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? And you put
like a
the
corporate
tickets,
shill event?
right? No, not only that, right? So you actually put
somebody's
these
got to pay for it.
right.
No,
But
there's no
that's
such thing as free.
that's
Right,
how you
that-
get them to
and
pay
that's-
for it. So
that's
now
what
you
bothered
put these
me.
fucking tickets inside these boxes. You know, oh, you can win 2 boxes out of every
They've done it
12 packs.
before.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Get the can with Gene Simmons' tongue on it and win 2 tickets
And
to
win
the
2
last ever
tickets for the
show.
free-
Yeah,
exactly.
see, Ed's already. Oh my god!
What the fuck?
My Budweiser. Not that Budweiser isn't already hard
There's
enough
a
to
real
choke
tongue
down.
in this.
This is like half a foot long.
Who in God's green earth did this?
I just want to know logistically, and that's a great point that it could be a giveaway of some sort, a ticket lottery of some sort. But
I would see it more towards, like I said, more towards
Right.
going like Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, or something like
right,
that.
and when
make them buy.
Metallica and the Big Four did Yankee Stadium, it seats 55,000 for a baseball game. You got another 20,000. That's 70,000
Yankee-
tickets. How much Budweiser or Pepsi
Yankee
or
Stadium
Dr. Pepper
better
would you have to
think-
sell?
You better think about that. Because that's look. You brought Metallica in there, and I want to say probably about 30% of the people that went to that concert were probably real Metallica fans.
Yeah.
The other 70 were what we like to call pink hats, and they ended up getting the fucking things.
Or you were the Slayer hardcores who went, saw Slayer, and left.
There you go. So you didn't even stay hard enough. You know
But
what I'm saying?
I would have loved to have seen that. Megadeth,
But-
Anthrax,
But
Slayer,
regardless,
Metallica.
now you're going to get somebody like Kiss in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his
No,
speculation.
right. Now you get somebody like Kiss in there, right? The fan base that you're going to have coming through there, man, that place is going to be.
But I'll say this.
Can you just imagine what New York subway is going to look
Oh, my
like,
God.
dude?
You know,
with people with platform shoes and fucking makeup.
the last time I saw them was in 2014, and I'll say the crowd was 60-40. 60 are your diehards. 60 are the people you go, how many shows you been to? 62. Oh, I've only been to 44. Fuck you, I'm better. And they got the face paint, and they make the homemade outfits.
Yeah.
And then the other 40% is, like me,
They enjoy
drag
it.
my kid along, but she wanted to go. Then you see the other kids going, why do I have to watch Kiss? This is bullshit. One Direction's here next week. You didn't give me tickets for that. You know, and then it's the fringe fans. They just want to go to say, hey, I saw Kiss.
I was here.
Yeah, I was there.
I was there for that one.
Remember that night?
Yep.
And that's the crowd you get.
If they,
Whereas, like you said,
those
with the pink hats-
motherfuckers are happy as shit. If there's like 3 venues going on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I was there, and I went to there, and I went to
See,
Right.
if he really wants to redeem himself, in my eyes, he'll do it so that somehow give it to people, kids or whatever, they can't normally go to concerts.
Fantastic.
Get to go to the Kiss farewells tour.
The real farewell tour.
Right. You know,
Final.
like, you know, kids in the poor cities get to go to the concert if they maintain a C average or better or something like that, you know, just
And whether or not you're a fan of the group, when you have something like that, like Motley Crue is not touring anymore. They're a non-touring entity. They've signed contracts. We will never converge as Motley Crue
Eminem
ever
doesn't
again.
tour.
Yeah.
Right. So to say you were at the final show in Boston or the
Because
final show in
Eminem
Philly,
sold half his soul to Dr. Dre. You see him
Well-
lately? He's looking a little gone. Isn't he? Isn't he looking?
Well, he is a recovering drug addict. But
so was Motley Crue, all of them.
He stopped touring.
I'll tell you what, Vince is looking pretty good for being pretty hardcore as he was.
He's a little
Chunk
chubbier.
Meister. Yeah, I was going to say he's Chunk Meister.
The best of the bunch, though, the one who looks the best, and I never would have thought it, I would have thought Tommy Lee would have always been the one that looked the best. Nicky Sixx, for a guy who's 58 years old, looks
I
like
don't think
looks
Nicky
like
really
he's 38 years
fucked
old.
around with as much as everybody
Nicky
else
Sixx?
did. No, I know
Nicky Sixx died.
I know he did. Well,
and then came back to life.
he was that's because he hangs out.
He died.
He hangs out
On
with
Christmas.
What's his face?
The motherfucker died.
He's just fucking pruned.
Slash was there. He died. How many show of hands or
Slash is the Grim Reaper.
Show of hands.
Slash was like, dude, it's all right. I got you.
Really quick, show of hands around the room and anybody on Facebook, if you've ever died and came back to life, hit a thumbs up or raise your hand real quick. I'm not seeing a...
I did.
Okay.
I did. Let me say
I wanted to die.
I didn't.
And I came back to life.
Here's how it worked.
Go ahead.
So
I don't do that shit
I got this
anymore now.
big gaping hole in my stomach that y'all know because I got part of my intestines ripped out.
Right.
So if you look right here, they gave me that nice little, feeding the tube thingy. So as this nurse is coming in to remove this, she jerks it rapidly. Well, there was a blood clot at the end of that.
Ooh.
And it literally was going to my heart, and I literally was going like seeing black, and all of a sudden it must have dissipated at the right time. And I went, and I came back like this, and the nurse looked at me, and she looked like she was dead.
Wow.
She looked like she knew she almost just killed me.
I'm looking over your shoulder, and she's a little disturbed by the story.
Oh, this
But-
was when I
No.
had my surgery.
I'm
This
looking
is-
at her face. She's like, "Oh my God, did that really happen?"
Yeah,
That's fucked up. I don't allow this often. In fact, I don't allow it ever. But hey, Jerry, how'd you like the show tonight? Thank you, and thank you for the awesome pictures. Bob Backlund checked out her rack, guys. We're gonna call him Bob Rackland from now on.
So I'm gonna
The
probably
clean cut golden boy in the suspenders.
Hey,
checked
you
out
can be
her
a
boobs.
clean cut golden boy and like boobs. Every one of us does it. Of course, we're not clean.
I'm gonna
Some more than others, but yeah.
I'm gonna piss a couple people off with my what's up on my mind.
I'd like to hear it.
All right, so last week when we were live and we were having fun, we obviously heard of the Ariana Grande concert. Somebody, which now we've learned is a whole lot of somebodies.
Yeah.
It was a whole
Making
fuck ton
arrests
of, yeah.
daily.
Yeah, exactly. They're still making arrests to this freaking point. It has been noted that Ariana Grande is going to pay for the funerals of the people that were there that died.
Okay.
Well, fucking la-di-da, Ariana. La-di fucking da.
I got to hear your rationale on this.
I'm so proud that you finally woke. It took 30 of her fans got injured and hurt. It took 30 of your fucking
19
fans.
dead and
Right.
30 or plus hurt.
Right,
yeah.
there you go. 30, 19. It took that for you to finally give a fuck about this fucking world. You fucking French fry tossing, spitting in the face of fucking people that work at McDonald's, and now you give a fuck.
All right.
Well, I'm glad you finally give a fuck. What pisses me off is the fact that it took something like this to make you open your little fucking beady Mickey Mouse fucking club eyes. Seriously. And for the people out there that are like, "Oh, thank you, Ariana. You are a wonderful thing for every..." Did you forget that this is the same stupid hoe? The same stupid hoe that had her fucking boyfriend walk up, slap a guy from fucking, what was it, the ice cream place? Baskin Robbins. Slap the guy because he didn't put the right topping on for her, and then she laughed at him and said, "Look at the type of job you have."
All right. I go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Look, this is. I thank you for doing what you're doing, but I think it's just a piece of shit fucking move. To be honest with you, I think it's just like one of these things that one of your publicists said, "You know, it would be a great idea, Ariana, if you did a benefit concert and you paid for these people's funerals." You know what her first fucking conversation probably was? "Fuck that shit." And then he was like, whoa, wait a minute.
This is good PR.
This is great PR.
All right. I never do this. Never. But let me play devil's advocate for a minute.
We do every show.
Oh, I don't. I'm usually the victim of the devil's advocate. Sometimes it takes a tragedy to wake somebody up. I mean, look at all the jackasses that you knew, and then 9/11 happens, and everybody's patriotic and all this mess. And if you have a personal tragedy, sometimes it wakes you up. Do I believe that about Ariana Grande? Fuck no, I don't believe that about Ariana Grande. I will give her the benefit of the doubt to say that sometimes it takes a tragedy to wake you up. I still think your story is more fair and accurate. Right. We will see after this. I would love to see her. Like she said, I'm going to go back and do a show for free in Manchester, and I'll donate a bunch of money. I would like to see an album that reflects the pain of her fans and her pain, which you can do. I mean, artists have done it forever. Here's my personal pain album. What was the Eminem album? There was that whole one that was
Recovery.
Thank you.
Recovery and I think Relapse, you could say.
Yeah.
Relapse. Good call. Good call.
And it's a personal pain
Relapse
album.
was about his mind after recovery.
And recovery was after the
him,
physical recovery.
Him just like getting over like the death of his friend and the drugs and everything. And
right.
Getting back to, being.
But it's a personal pain record.
Yeah.
Much like
Toys in the Attic.
Toys in the Attic. You could go with Dr. Feelgood was a personal pain album.
Yeah. What a great album, too. One of my favorites.
But, yeah, maybe, is this going to wake her up? Probably not. She's going to wake up tomorrow and get her fucking double.
Well, I was going to say, it all depends on where she goes from here.
That's what I said.
It's like, I said the same thing about Kaepernick. Okay, well, what's he going to do from here?
What are you going to do now?
Hey, he's let me down. He's done some good things, but he's let me down.
For every good thing he does, he opens his mouth.
Exactly. He got signed by the Seahawks.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good luck on the playoffs. Oh, wait. Yeah, you're not going. Fuckers.
But
again, here's the thing: when someone like Ariana Grande, and she said a lot of dumb shit, then this happens.
She's done a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is YouTube Ariana Grande and then put stupid shit, and then you will see videos like 50 or 60 of them of her just treating people like slobs.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw them all. That's why I said, okay, so this happened. She's paying for the funerals, which she doesn't have to.
Like I said,
the place is probably insured,
right?
So she doesn't have to,
right?
And I want to hear how she talks after this.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
If she's going to sound like fucking Katy Perry's been talking.
Oh, fuck Katy Perry! Did you see her speech at that little club show? Shut up, Katy Perry. Just show your
boobs.
boobs.
Here's the thing: I like Katy Perry's music and shit.
I like Katy Perry's
but
boobs.
she's opening her fucking mouth like, "Oh, we just need to get along and
open the border,
coexist.
Oh,
open the border." Yeah, that's what Manchester did.
Right.
That's what Germany's doing.
Look,
yeah, exactly.
I know you and I have said this before, and other people will agree or disagree, and fuck you if you disagree. I really don't give a fuck. This is our show. I don't listen to music to get educated. I'll read a book to get educated, but I listen to music for entertainment and an escape.
Exactly.
There's a reason why I like U2, but I don't buy their records. Because I can listen to Where the Streets Have No Name and just hear the song. I don't need to be fucking bludgeoned with the message. Fuck the message. I want to hear Love Gun. I want to hear Dr. Feelgood. I want to hear Slim Shady. If I put on a record, I want to be entertained. Done and done.
I listen to NWA to get educated.
True. Very true.
You're now about to witness the strength, the street knowledge.
Anyway.
I knew this was coming.
No, but like I said,
sorry,
I agree with
tall
what
and
you're
I won't sing the song.
I agree with what you're saying. Like I said, we'll see. Nice. Very nice. We'll see where she goes from here.
I love you for that.
We'll see where she goes from here. That's my biggest thing. My big thing, of course, is, she's such a humanitarian and this, that, and the other thing. And okay.
She could be. We'll see.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding, and what she does in the next year or two is really going to tell.
The only thing, here's the thing. I'm hoping she saw the explosion and she saw people die.
Now, see, that's what I've always asked. Did it happen during the show?
It was
after
during
the show?
It was during the
during?
show.
I thought it was at the end. It was right at the end when
Are you sure?
she was,
I thought it was towards the end of the show.
It was right at the end.
Oh, no,
when
you're right, because
was,
the guy was waiting for everybody to walk out.
Which one of our window-licking listeners
balloons.
said Katy Perry doesn't have boobs?
The guy was waiting for people to walk out of the concert, and then he...
There it is, in plain English. Katy Perry doesn't have boobs.
That
Rachel.
person is...
It's Rachel.
Rachel, I'm sorry.
Katy Perry does have balloons.
Fantastic, beautiful orbs of
Rachel,
deliciousness.
look up Katy Perry Elmo shirt.
There you go.
I win. Can I drop the mic?
No, don't drop it.
It's
We
her
need all the
mic.
equipment. Yeah, we need to salvage the equipment. Let's see where she goes from here. Seriously.
So-
What's on your mind over there, Captain?
I got one cool thing. I saw Alien Covenant last night. I liked it.
Everybody went to the movies last night. I went to the movies last night.
I did.
Not me.
I
was cleaning this place.
I saw
That's
Alien
true.
Covenant. A lot of people are shitting on this movie because of what it does with the mythos. And I'm just going to say, get out of your fucking James Cameron fantasy. It's not happening.
Dude, people are getting upset
it's-
about this whole fucking the Star Wars thing and where they're going with fucking Star Wars. Well, I'm really sorry it didn't work out for you, but you didn't write the fucking story.
I always say, if you got a script better than them, I'll read it.
Write
Yeah.
it.
Fuck yeah.
Kevin,
Where were you?
Kevin Smith like a motherfucker.
Some breaking news. Speaking
Uh-oh.
of music, Olivia Newton-John, I guess, has been diagnosed with breast cancer for the second time.
Oh,
That's
man.
horrible.
Yeah, she had canceled a few shows, and looks like it's metastasized to her sacrum.
Still looks good for her age, too. That's a hottie.
Well, Xanadu is down, too.
Oh, my God.
Well, you know what? We hope he recovers.
The opinions expressed by Loki do not necessarily reflect those of the rest of us.
You know, when you're talking music, you should really not bring up Xanadu ever. It's like an unspoken.
You're right.
It's an unspoken rule.
That's like if we ever get a chance to have Paul Stanley on the show, don't say elder.
There's a few movies that it's an unspoken rule you do not bring up because they totally destroy American culture.
Godfather
Xanadu,
3.
Roller Boogie,
And anything by ABBA.
Okay. Well, wait, I like ABBA.
Yeah, there's some good ABBA stuff. Oh my Lord!
So before we head into the next one, our other thing that we've been blowing up, Friday the 13th has come out.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves. I love reading your ongoing commentary about what you're doing on the game. I want you to start.
I live streamed
Can I just say?
I live streamed my first game. And
Can I just say one of my highlights of this game thus far is murdering all my children.
It's a great stress relief.
We were literally playing a private match, and I had Caleb, and I had Alex, and I had everybody else, and I think Tristan was in there, and my other kid there. So they were all in there, and I got to murder them all, and it was fantastic. And
you know what I love? You know what I love the best? I don't know if you've been meeting some interesting people playing this game.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm playing the game, and I'm Jason. I'm part 3 Jason, and I'm chasing this girl down. And
while you're up,
I'm chasing this counselor down, and it's can you grab mine in the freezer? For those of you not watching, Loki's making a bar run.
The co-host has become the beer bitch, and I'm not quite sure that it's a job he's going to hold for long because he is the co-host of the show. He's the co-creator.
It's because we don't have a buffer. We don't have a budget for a gaffer.
Well, usually I reach over, but we said as you can see behind us, if you're watching live, different setup this week.
So I'm chasing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pagano.
I'm chasing the black counselor in the jogging suit. So I'm chasing her down. All of a sudden, I hear some dude going, "Oh, come on, man, come on! Why you gotta chase the only black guy, man? This is racist as fuck." And I didn't know what to say, so I'm like, dude, it's an 80 horror movies. 80s token black guys must die.
Black guy always dies.
They must die.
A shark ate me, motherfucker!
So I killed everybody, and I didn't know how to grapple yet. Like, I didn't know how to grab, so I basically beat everybody with the axe.
Nice.
And I'm back in the lobby, and they're like, "Oh, so Eddie, you good at this game?" I'm like, "I'm all right. It's only my 3rd game." Same dude comes up and be like, "Don't listen to him, man. He beat the fuck out of us." Because I was just swinging the axe and hitting it whatever I could, and I killed everybody. But
I'll tell you, for its glitches and for everything else that it has,
the server issues that second day pissed me off.
The server issues to this day. Dude, I couldn't even...
Xbox is getting fucked up.
I couldn't even fucking... the only way I could play right now is if I have enough people to join me and we do a private match.
Yeah, that's the only thing that works. Yeah.
That's the only thing that fucking works. You can't go online and just meet randoms. So I've been, the people that I face, I've been keeping my friends list.
On Steam, for a while, we lost our achievements and stuff. They disappeared.
Yeah.
But they got them back up. And,
but I'll tell you...
As I told you guys this morning, I got my participation badge.
He's got his Video Game Millennial Award, and he deserved it.
Just think about that game when you're chasing around the counselors. You almost want to scream, "Get over here, you little millennial!"
Ed, we got a complaint.
We
We got a complaint from the Peanut Gallery. Rachel says if Eddie had picked me up, I would have been your beer bitch. I think she just wanted to meet Bob Backlund. However, it wouldn't have.
She wouldn't have been able to get under those wires.
That would have been easy.
Talking.
That would have been easy.
Fantastic.
Well, you gotta let me know.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
we've been pimping this show for 2 weeks. You knew.
Yep.
You knew.
Yep.
And if you didn't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Sucker.
So I'm not even going to do another What's on My Mind. I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions, I know we talked about it briefly. We got a little bit of time before top 10.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions for us, anything at all, serious question, stupid question, fucked up question, I don't care. Send it in. We want to have some fun. Because it was fun having Bob Backlund.
No, it was. He was crazy.
Fuck, I can't get over it.
Man.
Real nice guy.
He was. Walked right in like he owned the place. Like, anybody home?
Yeah.
Right down the stairs, shook everybody's hand. Sir, great to meet you. Went over to Angela. Ma'am, great to meet you, etc., so forth. And just really nice, gracious, humble, and until he went into Mr. Backlund mode and hurt our necks.
You know, it's funny because I like the point that you brought up when you were like, you played a bad guy
by being a good guy.
Being a good guy. And in the 90s, that's exactly what happened. You couldn't be a good guy without...
Who sold the most shirts in the 90s? The NWO.
Right, exactly.
What was the NWO? A rogue villain group.
Right, exactly.
The 90s was different, though.
It was. And look, you can throw...
Like I said earlier, in the 80s, like, you could not be a Roddy Piper fan. They're like, no, Hulk
Roddy
Hogan.
Piper. Roddy Piper.
Which I like, too. But I love the whole Roddy Hulk dynamic.
Superstar Billy Graham, 20 years
Loved
too
him.
early. If they'd existed in the 90s, fuck Hulk Hogan. Seriously, fuck the NWO.
Oh, at that point, yeah.
Piper, Billy Graham would have been the best. But Bob seriously did it by being a good guy. Go do good in school and never capitulate, and you plebeians and all this, and using that huge vocabulary. And at the end of the day, you're just like, dude, I hate this fucking guy. He's making me think. I loved that.
Well, I'm listening to him, and fuck it, we're all thinking it. I'm sitting there thinking Hulk Hogan stole that guy's whole shtick.
Oh, yeah.
Because Hogan was heel when Bob Backlund was popular.
When he was champ, yeah.
And then, like, all of a sudden, Hulk
Say your
Hogan,
prayers,
say your prayers,
eat
eat
your
your vitamins, and
Bob Backlund.
I love all that. Don't get me wrong. But
no, Hulkamania. I got tired of it, sure. But in the beginning, I liked Hulk Hogan. I wore the T-shirt, and I was all about
I'm
it.
not tired of it. I still like it.
You know, I got tired of it toward the end, and then when he went NWO, I was like, oh, okay, I can be a Hulk Hogan fan again. Then he came back to the red and yellow in WWE, and I was wore the shirt again, bought a new one, and I still dig it. But it's that then it was like a warm bath of nostalgia. Whereas when Backlund came back, he was different. He was still Bob Backlund in the wrestling aspect, but that attitude.
Same attitude, though. He still had the same attitude.
He was still the All-American boy. It's just you hated him for it. And that, to me, was the
with
best.
With Hogan, what I thought got stale is his opponents, because I think he kind of peaked with Andre the Giant and Ultimate Warrior. I think he peaked with that.
Yeah, well, at the end, all he did was sit there and play the crowd, throw his hand up, do the ooh, do the leg drop, and that was it.
That was fine though, but here's the thing: like it was the build up. Like they built the heel to be really, really heel.
Yeah,
like because if you wanted to start something with Hulk Hogan, you had to like punch a baby in the face on camera. Then Hogan would be there like, oh no, you don't.
You had to steal an old lady's dentures in the front row.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the show.
Then he'd come out like Sting out of the Raptors.
Oh
no, brother.
On television, what was it? Big Boss Man handcuffed him to the ropes when Boss Man was a heel and whooped him with the stick. So you wanted to see, again, TV selling the arena. You wanted to see that match. And it was Madison Square Garden. I didn't go live. I watched it on the MSG network. They had a cage match, that ugly-ass big blue cage where the thing just terrible.
I like the blue
Hated
cage
it.
Match. Why?
Because you can't rake a guy's head across and get blood. I'm an old schooler.
But you could see through it better. That's why they did
it. And they did it for television. Exactly. That's why they changed it to black. The blue translated too bright on television.
That, and I think they had like some major injuries on those.
Probably.
You know, because
but I watched Hulk Hogan.
Just dealing in fencing like I do.
Oh, yeah. Go see Eddie if you want to build a steel cage. But he suplexed Big Boss Man. Here's a 320-pound guy in Hulk Hogan. Here's a 350-pound guy in the Boss Man. Suplex off the top of a fucking cage because you beat me with a stick, and I'm going to get my revenge, and I'm going to do this move that I never do and drop you 20 feet to the... Jaws hit the ground.
That's the thing with Hogan, too, that I think got stale, because when he started, Hogan was the big guy. Like, he's
Hogan,
huge
Andre,
compared to Backlund.
Yeah.
He's huge compared to most other guys.
Go watch the video Gary Capetta sent me.
Yeah.
I wish we could have got that intro because Gary really wanted to be a part of this. And I'm trying to get Gary on in October when his tour is done. The best announcer in the business, in the ring, in my opinion. Watch Hulk Hogan versus Bob Backlund, 1980, Philadelphia Spectrum. You'll see Hulk Hogan do something.
I did watch that, actually.
What did he do in that match that he didn't do throughout the 80s? Wrestle.
Yeah.
He put on chain wrestling moves.
It was different.
Kick, leg drop, done. And that was the shtick, and it made money.
Right.
It made tons of money.
Until he faced a bigger opponent like the like the Ultimate Warrior, where they had to sit there and power move each other back and forth.
Or having
that's what I was saying.
That's what people expected.
Right, or having to carry Andre the Giant through his back injury after the Princess Bride to do WrestleMania 3, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, Hogan peaked then, and then if you notice all the other wrestlers starting, like, physically bigger. Like, bigger guys.
Sid Vicious is a perfect. When they brought him in '91, you were like,
huge.
he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
He's really good. And if you still believed in it, then I was in my late teens, early 20s.
There was nobody that Sid Vicious couldn't have beat, in real life. Jesus.
He looked like he could kill you. Little did we know he had no freaking skill whatsoever.
Yeah.
But he looked the part. And
very weak ankles.
As we learned in 1999.
Oh,
you guys want to get sicked out? I know a lot of you guys watch that. If you watch Ridiculousness or all that mess, go look up Sid Vicious leg injury. And then come back and talk to me.
Oh, God, don't.
Christine Kuhn says, I still fear Sid. I saw him on TV. I don't watch is it Survivor or Big Brother or whatever. His son was a part of it.
It was like that dude that was in kickboxing and he kicked the guy's leg and his leg fucking broke. And then he went to go fucking land on his head. Fuck you, dude.
Crumbling like a bad house of cards. Go watch a Sid Vicious leg break.
It's just like that. It literally, ew.
If you're watching.
God, why did
Guys, if you're watching, ask us some questions. We want to have some fun.
Oh, shit,
we're still
dude.
Popped up from Bob Backlund. And when this is over, Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, go back and watch the whole thing. See how cool this guy is.
Yeah, what a great. So you didn't hear about that, huh? Yeah, Kaepernick's going to the Seahawks.
See?
Yeah, so he's going to be a backup to Wilson. And we want to talk about a team that's fucked up right now. Seahawk fans, why don't you chime in on your team?
Seriously.
Your entire
if there are any fans out there.
Your entire defense thinks that Wilson is nothing and is going to show his true colors this season. Did you read about this? It was on ESPN recently.
I did.
The entire defense, that is your entire defense, thinks Wilson is nothing. So, do you think that this is a direct reflection of the defense saying this? And is Pete Carroll getting scared and actually listening to the voices?
Possibly. I think Seattle's defense has been on the decline for about 2 years. They showed it.
They've traded a few people. They traded a few people.
Excuse me, not so much last year. But the year before, you started to see this steep decline. Last year, they kind of picked it up a little bit. They were playing with a little bit of urgency, trying to fight and scrap and get that playoff spot, which didn't happen. I don't think Seattle's going anywhere this year. They're probably 8-8 at best. We won't know. I mean, we're still 2 months away from preseason.
Yep.
But, by the way, just so you guys know, when we do have our NFL preview, special guest Tommy Summers.
Yeah, baby.
Already signed up from Three Sides of the Coin. If you're a Kiss fan, go find Three Sides of the Coin wherever you find podcasts. Tell them we sent you. And tell Mark Cicchini to accept my friend request. I got everybody else on Three Sides.
But that's what I'm saying. So you think they bring in Kaepernick because he's buying the hype, or you think they just bring in Kaepernick? Why do you bring in Kaepernick?
It's the same reason why Michael Vick and Matt Schaub worked so well together. They're opposites. Kaepernick is a pocket passer. He's a little mobile. Wilson is a long passer and very mobile. You need to weigh it out, so if one gets hurt, your whole game changes.
Well, Kaepernick can fill in that spot pretty easily. I mean, he is a pretty mobile guy. They tried to do the same thing with San Fran, but obviously they didn't have good enough tackles for him.
Lee Bozeman says Wilson's overrated and was living off the defense and the beast.
So
I don't disagree with that.
So yeah, so you're on the same bite that
didn't they lose the beast? Isn't he in the
He's
Raiders
in Oakland now.
Well, he's going to be in Las Vegas and dead in 2 years because all that Raider team.
He'll be done
dead.
after this year. I think he just came back for the hype because everybody wanted him. Don't forget, they're leaving Oakland. Yeah. They're going to Las Vegas. So, like, the Oakland faithful, you already know what's going on with freaking. Look at the Chargers. Look at the faithful. There's none. They hate him, dude.
You moved our team.
Right, exactly. And Oakland's going to do the same fucking thing. Did you hear about their new
coach, Wayne Newton?
Wayne Newton is a... Donkey Shane.
I'm going to take it.
Vegas joke.
That was good.
That was.
I'm worried about the Raiders, and I'm worried about that new NHL franchise that's going to Las Vegas because we said it before and we said it again. Las Vegas is like Sin City.
Not. Yeah, you don't. You're going to
die.
Players there.
You're all going to die.
You know what happens when big time players move into Minnesota? They literally move in with each other.
Yeah.
Like right now.
You're a farm town.
We have Michael Floyd. He just signed with the Vikings a month ago. Mm-hmm. He didn't buy a house. You know what he did? He moved in with Kyle Rudolph. All right? Now, you take that same scenario and you put it in Las Vegas. They're at the hotel.
Right.
They live at the fucking hotel.
You're gonna be at
Why?
The Sands or the Bellagio.
Right, exactly. Because you're a team that's in Las Vegas. If you're not blowing coke or doing something up your fucking asshole,
don't come to my house.
Right? then it's just
I can't remember the name of the movie. Jonah Hill goes to the desk and says, "I'm looking for a guest. Maybe you can help me find him." It's spelled HEROIN.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Can you find that guest for me? No, it had Russell Brand in it. The offshoot of
Take him to the Greek?
Get him to the Greek.
Get him to the
Greek.
Greek.
Thank you. Guys,
With
if you missed
Puffy
it.
Combs.
Yep. Guys, if you missed it, go back later. If you're watching us live, Bob Backlund was here. He was here. Like childhood hero was sitting next to me, put me in the chicken wing, grabbed me and Mike by the head, shook us around like we were rag dolls. For a 67-year-old guy, he still got pipes. He still has, I could feel it around my neck. It still hurts right here. You can't see this on audio only. That's why you got to watch the live feed. I don't get it. I don't get why sports franchises want to move to Las Vegas. One race a year for the NASCAR guys, and they all get drunk. They take the next week off. But
It's
a franchise.
like anything else, dude. It's whoever has the money.
It's true. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
These things don't run on nothing.
That's true. Guys, get your questions in. We got a little bit of time. Top 10's coming. We're doing pretty economical on time. It's only 7:25 if you're watching us live. If you're listening to us on audio only format, it's probably 11:14 wherever you are. Don't care. Getting it done. Ed, you got anything?
What do you think of what's his name? Greg Allman passing away?
Oh, wow. I was never the hugest Allman Brothers fan, but I always liked Greg Allman. His solo stuff was fantastic. Loved it.
I think they were talking about drugs being involved or something.
Well, he's always had problems in and out with drugs over the years.
The Allman Brothers?
That's 90% of the reason him and Cher got divorced was drugs. So, yeah, Greg Allman, terrible tragedy. He was a real troubadour. He was one of those guys that just have a guitar, will travel, and I just want to play music, and he did it till the day he died. So, Godspeed, Greg Allman. It's not like he killed himself in a hotel room in Detroit. Sorry, Chris Cornell fans. Still kind of pissed off about that. You can throw the trigger warning.
I said the same thing. No, I said the same thing, dude. Like, I'm still pissed off at him. You know what? I wasn't that upset the whole Prince thing when I found out that he did drugs. I was a little shocked.
There was a lot of backstory to it.
Yeah, exactly. But then when you really think about it, and then you kind of went through it, and you're like, yeah, I can actually see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when fucking China, it was the same thing. You're like, yeah, she's kind of been down that fucking road for a little bit there. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised fucking, what's his name? Xbox ain't fucking dead yet, that motherfucker.
Oh, Xbox, he almost was. Did you see
know.
He went missing a couple weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago. Fucking went on a coke binge, motherfucker. Dude, you just need to die. Out of everybody that we're losing right now, you just,
okay,
God, how?
Okay, full disclosure, I gotta tell you this story. I should have told
How is he still living?
If I'd have told it when Bob was here, he probably would have chastised me.
Yeah.
I went to a WWF house show, and the headliner was Bob Backlund, Bret Hart. No, it was Bob Backlund and somebody else against Bret Hart and The Undertaker, like a tag team match. And it falls out of the ring and double count out, and we were right on the aisle. And as Bret Hart's walking out of the ring and he's playing it off as he's all pissed off, we lock eyes. And this, back then I was not a Bret Hart guy. Now I can appreciate Bret Hart. I looked him dead in his eye and he says, I hate you. I hate your greasy face. And I hope you and your entire family drop dead. And he looked at me and went, fuck you, and kept walking. And I had so much fun. I told that story for years. And if I had told that story to Bob, I'd have probably gotten a chicken wing and a leg shoved up my ass.
We already got one.
Yeah. But, that's... Oh, God. But, again, and then what happens to Owen Hart and yada, yada. But, look, suicide, again, if you're a celebrity and you have the ways and means to get your own help and to do the thing, I think Chris Cornell could have done more. He's got a wife and a kid and all that. But, Greg Allman dies of natural causes. Yes, he's had drug problems all his life as a professional musician. And it happens to everybody. Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, every one of them that gets tangled up in drugs either dies the OD way, or they put a fucking gun in their mouth, or they hang themselves. Robin Williams, same thing, drug problems. All his natural career. And
to the point where he couldn't handle being sober.
Right.
Exactly. And it weighed on him. But to Robin Williams' point, at least he tried. He kept changing doctors, finding doctors. What's wrong with me? Why can't I cope with sobriety.
Right.
And eventually it just got too much for him, and he's gone. I give Robin Williams a pass. I don't give Chris Cornell a pass. I don't give Chris Benoit a pass. I don't give Kurt Cobain a pass. I don't. Because you have all this at your disposal. Fix your fucking problem.
Well, I still think Kurt was murdered, but...
You know, I got a good book I want you to read. I'm halfway through it right now.
And you know what? And I don't... Like, let me say it this way. I don't want to say, like, murdered, like, he didn't see it coming. Like, he was murdered, but he helped with the murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was okay with getting murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I could buy it a little bit.
Like, he was like, all right, whatever, bitch, if you're going to pull the trigger,
I'm
fucking
dead.
just pull.
I'm dead, but
I'm
I'll live
dead
forever.
anyways. Right, exact. I'm fucking dead anyways.
What's the old
fucking
saying?
trigger.
It's better to burn out than fade away.
Fade away, yeah, there you go. There
well,
you
he
go.
burned out quick. And look, real big, quick, mighty pisser here. I'm in the grocery store a few weeks ago, and I see a Time Magazine special edition with Kurt Cobain's face on it. It says, Kurt Cobain at 50. And I'm like, Kurt Cobain died at 24. You dumbass. Or 27, sorry.
Yeah.
But they were going through, and I flipped through like 4 pages, and it was just like this story of Kurt Cobain. I put it down. I'm like, why are we still celebrating this asshole? He wasn't as good as Cornell. He was better than Vedder, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But Kurt Cobain, to me, was a false idol. I don't buy the worship of Kurt Cobain.
The thing was, he was an idol, though, that's what carried over. That's
so
what
was
people.
Billy, and Billy's still alive.
It's because he went out at his peak, so that's all people know.
I don't think that was his
exactly.
peak. I honestly think there was more.
At that point,
fame-wise, perhaps we don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I think there was more.
That's all people say.
That In Utero album, I agree with him. That In Utero album was fantastic.
Michael agreed with me on this. It's kind of like martial arts and Black Belt magazine. There were still articles about Bruce Lee like 20, 30 years after he died.
There's probably still articles
which I don't.
Today.
As a matter of fact, do you remember the one time that I actually wrote to Black Belt, and remember they took out my entire thing about Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
I wrote this, it was right after Brandon Lee died, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, the world will never know how great of a martial art Brandon Lee was. We truly lost somebody special here. And then I went on like this huge paragraph about, I really felt like this is kind of like a changing of changing of the torch because Bruce Lee never really had a chance to take off, blah, blah. Dude, it was literally like this much, but it was about...
It was like a legacy.
Right, exactly.
It was...
And you know what they fucking did? They put in...
A blurb.
Brandon Lee will be sorely missed, Michael Smith. They gave me one sentence. I was like, you fucks.
It's not even artistic or journalistic license. That's a hatchet job. I remember a friend of mine wrote a letter, a very impassioned letter to Rolling Stone. If you remember, Freddie Mercury from Queen and Eric Carr from Kiss died on the same day.
Yes.
Front page, Freddie Mercury. Look, let's be honest. Eric Carr was a friend of mine. Through pen pal relationship, and I met him a couple times, but he's nowhere near the stature of Freddie Mercury.
Agreed.
Not one mention in the magazine the week they died, except Freddie Mercury. Not even a little blurb. Eric Carr died of cancer at 41. So my friend wrote this impassioned letter, and they printed 6 lines of the letter. It was 3 pages long. If they'd have maybe put a little bit more
I was going to say, granted, I could see them not putting the whole thing.
Freddie Mercury and Queen is a perfect example because when Freddie Mercury passed away, Queen was kind of what I call at the end.
Oh, they were on a down slope.
They were popular. No
album,
doubt. But
that album that they just put out with The Show Must Go On, again, much like David Bowie,
badass
that was
song,
Freddie
man.
Mercury's goodbye letter to the fans. He knew.
Yeah, I'll buy it.
Yeah, they all knew he was dying.
I'll
Actually, some of the music videos, their last album, you look at Freddie, most of it's from neck up.
You can even look at The Show Must Go On.
From the sickness.
His face was so sullen, and it was just, you could see something was wrong with him.
But you don't see Freddie Mercury at 70, Freddie Mercury at 80. You don't see that.
No, you don't see that
because
shit.
Queen was kind of on the down spiral. So
right, okay, I'll buy it.
People's mindset, well, this is just what's supposed to happen.
Right, I'll buy that.
And we know Freddie Mercury, hands down, is the greatest frontman of all time. But nobody's going to...
Sure.
I mean, because man did opera, rock and roll, pop,
theater,
everything.
He owned everything.
Movie soundtracks, everything.
I'm not trying to put Eric Carr on the same pedestal as you put Freddie Mercury. I just think a magazine like Rolling Stone, who it finally took them 40 years to embrace anything Kiss, could have even put a 2-line blurb. Eric Carr from Kiss died of cancer. He was 41.
They got to sell issues. That's the thing with Rolling Stone is that that's why it'll always be Kurt Cobain on
Any
the cover.
magazine that celebrates Bruce Springsteen can kiss my ass.
Well, let me put it this way: the song "Funky Drummer" by James Brown.
Yeah,
that drum beat is the most sampled drum beat in all of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's always credited to James Brown.
But going back to what you were saying,
Stubbenfeld's the one who actually played the drums on that one.
Going back,
he's not going to end up in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Elvis was on a decline when he died.
Yes.
Yeah. Yet we still see Elvis tributes every 5 years about, the legend, the legacy, this and that. For the love of God, Graceland, just on tours alone, makes more money than a lot of Fortune 500 businesses.
I think in Elvis's case, it's not just the music, it's the movies, it's certain events that keeps him. But even still, I've probably seen more Kurt Cobain shit than I've seen Elvis.
I saw a 12-year-old kid at a concert when I went to see Disturbed last summer.
Here's the thing, too. There was that craze. Elvis is still alive.
Yeah.
That helped.
Of course.
But
I saw a kid at the Disturbed concert wearing a Kurt Cobain shirt, and I had to. You know me. The inner dick came out. I'm like, hey, you like Kurt Cobain? Yeah. How old are you? 12. Your parents like Zeppelin? Yeah. How old are they? Like 30. Zeppelin was already fucking done by the time. Look, they have no impact on your life.
You know how I feel about Zeppelin. We don't need to retread it.
No, and it's. I agree with you. Fuck Led Zeppelin. Anyway, if you don't have questions, we're going to move along. I see you're looking at some great pictures.
I was, actually, yeah. It's pretty good
nice.
times.
Thank you again to Connor Promotions. Thank you again to Janelle for taking some great pictures. And thank you, Bob Backlund. If you don't have the book, you can get this book.
Go to the Loki and Jabroni page on Facebook and click the link I just posted and pick yourself up a copy of Bob Backlund.
Nice. Or you can drag your ass out Saturday night from 6 to 9 to Pistol Pete's Bar and Grill, 29 Stonington Road, Norwich, Connecticut, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
This Saturday.
That's right. I'm coming right after work, man. I got to get Emma that picture. She's going to she'll put me in the chicken wing. Mm-hmm. And I'll allow it because I done screwed up. But
yeah, I got to do a party for Skip. Then I got to run over to...
Trying to make both of them.
Yeah.
And we got to do a party for this guy.
Tokyo Sushi.
Oh, you know what? Big announcement here. Saturday night after the Bob Backlund signing, Tokyo Sushi, Route 32 in Norwich.
I know, I got to set up his thing. I got to set up his birthday.
Is turning 40, guys.
I'm busy Saturday.
The guy who probably didn't think he'd ever see 40 is turning 40. So
definitely in my late 20s, I didn't think it was going to happen.
I said the same thing when I got married. I said I didn't think I'd live to see 30, yet here I am.
It was a chemical romance, but it definitely wasn't marriage.
If you want to come out and see the guys from Loki and Jabroni, all three of us come out to Tokyo Sushi Saturday night after 9 p.m. We're going to be celebrating that jackass's birthday. I have the day off the next day, which means I am getting Eddie Focus drunk, which is a special kind of drunk.
Oh, I've decided to go straight edge.
Fuck you. I'm buying you a beer.
Wow.
I'm buying you.
I don't drink beer on my birthday. That is what the cretins drink on
You're
their birthday.
full of shit because I'm going to pack one of those peach beer gimmicks in my pocket.
Delicious mixed drinks.
I'm going to be the old guy in the waiters with the dollar bill going, oh, you almost had the peach gimmick right here. Here it is. And you'll be grabbing for that.
I got to tell you right now. Last year I was drinking vodka martinis. I can't do that anymore. So I'm going to find new beverage, and that's all I want.
And I'm going to tell you, last year I bought you a lot of vodka martinis, and my wallet can't take it anymore. So you're going to have a beer. I got a couple
myself, so yeah.
I was having trouble drinking them. I don't know if it's old age, but they're not going down like they used to.
They're not as smooth.
Got some new listeners joining.
They're not as James Bond as they used to be.
Hi, Tony. How you doing? Brother man. Jared's here. Jared's always here. I love that guy. Janelle and Michael are here. I love those guys. Hello, Janelle and Michael.
Hey.
They're from Viking Entertainment. I love those guys, too. Let's not forget Sublime Ink, Sinners Ink, all sorts of ink. Fuck it. Bic Ink.
Bic Ink. We like Bic Ink.
You wrote your top 10 list in Bic Ink.
I did, actually.
Jenny Perez says Shirley Temples for me.
Wow.
Jenny, you obviously don't know anything about cocktails. When men drink them, they are Roy Rogers.
They are Roy Rogers.
Oh, good call by you.
With blue.
Oh, I'm not even going to get into that story. I'll wait till my brother's watching and tell the Shirley Temple story.
You're about to talk about how many Roy Rogers you had. Like,
I was so fucked up, dude.
I went to Hampton Beach with my granddad. I had 6 Shirley
When
Temples.
Jabroni tells a story, it's like, I was so fucking sober. Anyway.
I was so fucked.
Because it never happens. That's why it's such an event.
I don't know. You were stone cold sober for Bob Backlund. Like, look at those Dr. Pepper cans lined up.
I
like
know.
victims.
It's a sweet one.
I had some. I had
This is
my
the most
honesty.
professional Jabroni has been on stage.
Not true. When I went to the hospital way early on, I had to drink water throughout the whole thing. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
We had to
Oh,
push the
yeah.
podcast
I
3
remember.
days because I was incapacitated.
Yep.
Here's a swig of Dr. Pepper for all of you.
I do. I remember that.
He does. And how long, if I may ask, just on a professional level, how long does the Europe video usually last? Give or take.
Oh, I don't know, like 10 seconds.
Oh, shit.
It's not that long.
I'll take that as a personal challenge. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hey,
You're in frame.
he grabbed all of them.
Go big or go home.
I can hear it upstairs.
Go big or go home. No, it wasn't horrible for Jabroni. I enjoyed every minute of being sober for Bob Backlund. Thank you very much.
No, I think she's talking about the other one. The other time when you were only drinking water.
That was horrible.
See. So,
Diverticulitis.
speaking of horrible, in case you guys have been living under a rock for like the last year, our pretty much unbeknownst mascot, Mr. Harambe.
Unofficial mascot. Harambe.
He's been there. He's been there for a year. It's been a year since Harambe passed. Since he was viciously
Senselessly
murdered.
by the popo. I mean,
That's right.
by the zookeeper.
This is for
That's
you,
right.
Harambe, right here, brother. We love you.
So, since his poor ape life was cut short, he had so many opportunities. This is the top 10 things Harambe could still be doing if he wasn't viciously murdered by that asshole that murdered him.
Right.
And that
Murder.
That boy that set him up.
That was a setup. That was such a setup.
Fuck that little kid.
You hear
Number
this, little
10.
kid? Fuck you and the girl that got bit by the seal.
That seal was looking out for Harambe.
Yeah, really.
That boy was looking out.
This is for Harambe.
Get in here, bitch. He could have been a spokesape for the Chiquita Bananas.
Wow.
You know that we're already working that deal out.
He could have been smooth like, hi.
He
I'm
was going to
Harambe.
be an extra in the battle of the planet of the apes. That's-
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Number 8, he could have been an active follower of the Mr. America, the Bearded Truth show.
Not a
He
bad
could
show.
have been. He could have been.
Could have been.
But
Could have
now,
been.
Could've been somebody.
he can't. Number 7, he could have been a business partner in Big Poppy's new monkey business. Could have been.
They both look alike, to be honest. You ever see a picture side by side of Poppy and Harambe and put Shrek in the
right
middle?
there,
It's
dude.
like triplets.
Oh, there you go. It's right there. It's right there, man. Number 6, the official ape of Subway restaurants. He could have done it.
He could have.
He could have been there.
Well, the last spokesman didn't do that well.
Well, he
You can only go up from there.
I mean, Harambe used to grab
Came up a little
kids, why
short.
not?
Oh, good call,
See?
Eddie Focus.
see. Number 5, been a consultant on Kong versus Godzilla.
That wouldn't have been too bad. They needed some help on that
They
film.
do. They need some help. They definitely need some help, but not from Harambe.
Can't, unfortunately.
Hello. Number 4, he could have been a guest on the Loki and Jabroni show.
That would have been the best.
Right here.
Right?
Could have been right here instead of fucking been on our...
We could have got him, I don't know who makes it, but got him the banana bread beer so he could have some banana while he's
See?
drinking with us.
We
Yes.
could have had Harambe, but we had to settle for Mark Slaughter.
Yeah, right. Mark Slaughter was before Harambe died.
True.
We kind of settled for other guests.
Well,
I'm
I
not
guess
gonna
at
say
that
their
point
name.
it would be Big E and C.
Yeah.
See?
We could have traded Biggie and C for Harambe. No offense, Ian. We love you, but Harambe would have been better.
And that's how it happened. We said, "Oh my God, they killed Harambe," and Big E and C was like, "Oh, I know Harambe. Can I be on your show?"
Pretty much. That's how it went.
See? Number 3, he could have been a voiceover for Gorilla Grodd.
This guy they got is bullshit.
He is. Doesn't even sound like an ape. What the
Right?
fuck, man? Number 2, could have been a centerfold and play ape. He could have. They could have done the whole thing set
I
up.
don't know.
Wow.
I heard Harambe had done some modeling when he was a teenager to pay
See?
for college.
See?
Right?
He could have went back to that.
Beaver Hunt or Gorilla Hunt magazine.
And number 1, he could be a stunt double, or he could have been a stunt double for George Roll in the new upcoming Rampage movie with The Rock.
Wow. That would have been a match.
The Rock?
The Rock.
The Rock.
Rampage?
The Rock.
You guys heard about that, right?
I did.
They are making a Rampage movie.
Oh.
It took him damn long enough. I've been waiting for that my whole life.
All right. When you wait, great segue. When you wait forever, and I'm looking at these Diet Dr. Pepper cans. If you haven't seen them in your local store, A, the official non-alcoholic drink of Jabroni, but B, Lady J's favorite cartoon character come to life is Wonder Woman. Big screen treatment has never happened for Wonder Woman. Is this going to be the bomb, or is this going to bomb?
No, I think it's going to work.
She was
out.
one of the few decent things about Batman v Superman.
I agree. But heading back to the Rampage thing, you guys, in case y'all don't know what it is, Rampage is an old 80s video game.
And one of my favorites.
It's one of mine
It was
to this
fantastic.
day, yeah.
Fun.
I'm
So you
still
had
waiting for the
3
massive online role-playing version.
Yeah. Or at least
You
Eddie
had
will.
3 monsters to choose from. You had Ralph, and he was a werewolf. You had Lizzie, which was the Godzilla. And then you had George, which was the big giant ape. And the whole idea was to climb up and down these buildings and beat the bejesus out of them and eat the people in the buildings and make them come crumbling down. And whoever did the most points and the most damage would win. They're going to make a movie out of this.
Now, these monsters, you're forgetting the best part, are actually people.
People that
Right.
get
Turned into
mutated.
monsters.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Because when you lost, you turned back into
You
a
went pew,
naked
pew,
human
pew, pew.
in
remember
total 4-bit glory
Yep.
and walked off screen.
And if you were the guy, you just holded 1 junk. And if you were the girl, you holded 2 junks.
Yep. 2 junks.
And walked out.
Is that grammatically correct before the
So-
Nazis come in? 2 junks? Really?
Two junks and a ta.
And this is the kind of entertainment you get only from us.
So that is your top 10 things Harambe could be doing if he wasn't viciously murdered.
Fantastic. God
Poor
bless
guy.
Harambe.
Poor
God
guy.
bless America.
And with that being said, man, what a great show.
I know.
From beginning to end, from having Bob Backlund, and by the way, he chilled in the driveway he probably could have hung out with us for about
Right?
another 15 minutes. He was just kind of on there on the phone. He was probably watching us live.
Could be.
Probably watching how
Probably
I-
wanted to make sure we weren't making a fool of him or something.
Oh, no.
he was going to come back in here and beat us up again.
I was afraid of that. Couldn't have been more gracious, couldn't have been more kind, lived up to everything I'd ever thought. And again, brief meetings with him twice, once in 93 and once in 2000 when he made a congressional run here in the state of Connecticut. He ran for Congress, unfortunately did not win, but I met him at a fundraiser. And again, gracious, but that's a 5-minute, maybe 30 seconds sometimes in the crowd when he leaped the rail in New Haven. That was about maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
At the congressional thing, it was maybe 3 to 5 minutes. I sat next to my childhood hero for an hour.
It's awesome, man. It was
Oh,
badass.
Christ.
It was
I'm gonna smile about this for a week, maybe more, maybe more.
It was great times, man. It was absolutely
I'm going to get
great
3
times.
texts tonight while I'm trying to sleep. Is it uploaded yet? Is it uploaded yet?
Hell no, I wait for that. My phone goes bzzz, and it says Eddie did his job, and it happens.
And he still doesn't sign a check. What the hell?
Your checks bounce like rubber.
Hey, like I said, man.
And that's why we need you guys on www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni. Are we doing extra content tonight?
I see people paying
We
for
got time. We can do like a half hour or
Yeah,
something.
we do have.
I see people paying for so much less.
Garbage.
So much more or less. But then again, I do see some pretty good shows out there that I've been kind of watching, and then
And
also.
full disclosure,
As a matter of fact, have you guys ever caught real quick? There's a YouTube channel After Prison.
no.
This guy's an actual, he says what happens after prison. He's trying to get jobs and everything else. He's really down to earth kind of guy. really fucking, like, some of the stories that he tells you is, you know, like, in jail. One time he tried to escape from jail, and he was actually out and about. And this was, like, just this past week one. And he's, like, in the swamp, and he says he's got this stuff on his face, right, that he just reached in the swamp and put it on his face. Then he remembers reaching down, and he feels this PVC pipe, like, next to his hip. And then he's thinking, what the fuck is this thing attached to? Well, it was obviously put there by a human. So it's probably carrying some sort of waste, if you will. So it occurs to him that he's now in this waste
Shit swamp.
And a police cruiser comes cruising up and stops right there and takes that little light. And guess what our dude's got to do? Go underwater.
Swim in the shit.
So he's explaining, that at that point in his life, he knew he had hit rock bottom. He's
you don't get much lower than that.
Right. He goes, when you're trying to escape and you think that this is the right thing to do and that you're doing everything possible and then you end up having a mouthful of shit.
I want to ask Eddie, you introduced me to a wonderful gentleman this week. You introduced us both to a wonderful gentleman this week. And I want to know how many weeks it'll take to get our new friend Cletus on the show.
I saw Cletus.
Cletus is awesome. I mean, will he come here?
Well, here's the tough thing is Cletus has a rotary phone.
Okay.
And it's hard for the cell phone to connect to it. And so I always have to drive out to his shack.
Okay.
Which is, you go down this really long dirt trail.
Correct.
And you have to swerve because you got to avoid these bear traps.
I got to say hi to Roger Spasta. Thank you for joining. It's great seeing your name pop up.
You got to drive to avoid these bear traps that he just leaves in the driveway.
Is he that paranoid? Is he anti-government?
I have no idea, but you get to the end of the driveway, then his mailbox is there.
Okay.
So
and it says MALE.
What's that?
I'm sure it's painted USMALE because he's strong.
Oh, no. It just has a rooster on it.
Okay.
Like a fake rooster.
Gotcha. Because the video you sent, Cletus is a strong character.
He's interesting.
Okay.
He's certainly interesting. Like, that's the only way I can get a hold of him is actually go to his house. So when I talked to him about coming on the show, he's pretty loyal. Yeah, he didn't want to break ranks.
I understand.
Yeah, you think he was on a first name basis with
people.
Yeah.
That's all we can say. We don't want to blow up his spot, but Cletus, look.
I'm trying. I'm working him. I think he'd be a good fit.
Okay. Well, I'd love to have Cletus on. The video that you sent, that you took of Cletus, spoke volumes, and I'm looking forward to talking to him.
Dude,
if we can get him out of the shack and hear.
He doesn't even have a cell phone. I asked him, like, how did you make that video? And that's when he kicked me out of his house. And I swear to God, I can't confirm it, but when I was walking away, could have sworn I heard children crying in the basement. That's
possible. But Cletus looks like the kind of guy I would like to talk to. And in the next few weeks, I'm looking forward to having maybe Cletus arrive here.
We'll see what we can do. I'm gonna do my best to get Cletus out here.
Let me paint a picture for you guys. Cletus is if Dimebag Darrell, the guys from Duck Dynasty, and Santa Claus had a baby, it'd be Cletus. Now you can mix in some David Duke. You could mix in Conway Twitty. A lot of amalgamations that come together to make the person that you know. And we got the video of Cletus. He's amazing.
Dude, all I got to tell you is he smashed his TV and his radio. He only listens to one show.
Loki and Jabroni.
No. Are you kidding me?
What is he like?
I think you know.
Let's wait till Cletus gets here.
We'll get Cletus in here. We'll ask him. But I told him I represented the Loki and Jabroni show, and he screamed fake news at me. And
well, he probably got told that we did a fake news episode. I'm sure someone in his family who dares to travel down the gravel road with the bear traps told him or showed him on their phone that we did a fake news show. Look, I don't want Cletus to be scared, and if you guys want to show him this video, please feel free. Cletus, you're welcome here. I'm sure you have some great ideas. I'm sure you have wonderful things to say. I personally know we don't want to blow up anybody's spot, but we know what show you like. We want to talk to you about it. Look who's come back into the frame. Look at this guy. The quintessential muff stuffer. Stud muffin.
Just a wrap up.
Right.
That's what I came back for.
We thanked everybody. We said Sublime Inc., Sinners Inc., Big Inc., Viking Entertainment, all you Patreon donors who will see you guys soon. Don't forget, guys, affiliate links. We got them. Ed, run them out.
Just go to LokiandJabroni.com. You'll see the button. Click it. We got iHome, WWE Shop, Swift Tech. If you're looking for an app for your business, we have King Cooler. If you're looking to build your own home bar, we have Amazon.
Amazon. Fandango, which I used the other night.
Fandango to buy your movie tickets. iHome has this really great special right now.
And if you guys are actually, if you are PayPal and you buy from Fandango right now, you are automatically thrown into the Wonder Woman sweepstakes for
nice.
$15,000.
Wow.
So PayPal with Fandango. And then, bang, you can win $15,000.
And if you sign up for the WWE Network, you can see lots of these old matches that we've been talking about.
Absolutely.
They're all archived.
And, guys, don't forget, make sure you check out BobBacklundNow.com. And that's where you can find him there. And if you're not going to be able to make this Saturday to see the live signing, you can go to that website. And just like through PayPal, all that information is right there. He will personalize it for you. I mean, heck, you can see there's the date on there, everything. I mean, that's Bob Backlund.
Can you guys see that? I hope you can. Ed, can you see that?
I can see that.
All right. That's fantastic. And I had a thought. I wanted to run it by you guys.
Patreon.
We already said we can do Patreon again. www.patreon.com. You want to see what goes on after hours? Donate $1 a week. Donate $1 a month. Donate $5 a week.
Donate
Invest
$5
in the
a
show.
week and find out what happens.
$1 a week for the content.
Find out what happens.
$1 an episode.
Yeah, find out what happens.
Stop giving away the shop, Jabroni.
I'm trying not to.
I've spoken to you about this before.
I'm trying not to. Bob was gracious enough to sign one of these for us. We have an extra one here. We're going to come up with a contest before the Patreon feed. And one of you lucky listeners can go home with this second Bob Backlund poster once we come up with an idea, and we will roll that out next week.
His personal favorite, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And maybe we'll get him to sign it on Saturday night so you have an autograph.
Maybe we'll get
Bob Backlund.
Maybe we'll get a picture of him getting us both in the headlock and have him sign that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wouldn't that be some shit right there? As if I don't have enough.
Sounds like a long, drawn-out process. Quick, take this and go to Walmart. Get this printed.
Right? 8x10 or poster size. Here, look, Bob Backlund kicking the shit out of Loki and Jabroni. It can happen.
I love it. All right, guys. So make sure you guys, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. That's first and foremost.
Right. Share the show and please leave a review on iTunes.
Share the hell out of us like it's your job. Leave that review like you love us, and drop a donation like we were Sally fucking Fields taking care of them Ethiopian kids.
Right. More fun next week. It's been fun the last
Sally
2 weeks.
Struthers, I'm sorry.
Sally Struthers was the Ethiopian. Sally Field was the
Sally Fields is she's the flame.
When she was diabetes, or no, that was Mary Tyler Moore. God rest her soul.
No, she was just like
Sally Field is.
She was like the bandit ride along.
Burt Reynolds' side bitch.
Yeah, but she did
Burt Reynolds ride along.
She did TV things like that.
No, she was just Burt Reynolds ride along.
She did
then.
Yeah, she was the flying.
She was Gidget.
She was Gidget too, but she was pretty much Burt Reynolds ride along.
Get ready for the extra shit, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peter Parker's aunt for 2 movies.
That's true.